Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
It's time to dust off your glove, grab your bat, and hit the road for some baseball. But before you head to the game, make sure your ride is in top shape. At Axton Automotive, our skilled mechanics ensure your vehicle is running smoothly so you can focus on cheering for your team. Don't strike out this spring. Get your car ready for baseball season. Visit AxtonAutomotive.com or call 360-685-7976.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4144. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fundable listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted. Click, clack. All right, here we go. Florida man chooses to avoid arrest by jumping off a boat and swimming to shore. Meanwhile, Ecuadorian officials find bananas that when you eat one, you'll definitely want more. Sheep in Greece break into a greenhouse and eat all of the medical weed. At Detroit Airport, authorities ask if 90 African snails, is that really what you need? And scientists cure type 1 diabetes in mice, which is cool if you're a mouse. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, ever heard of spectatoring? Spectatoring is defined as a process that involves a person focusing on themselves from a third-person perspective during sexual activity rather than focusing on one's sensations or sexual partner. In layman's terms, spectating, it's when you get in your own head and ruin sex for yourself. It's just that simple, all right? Now, this is not a problem that I have. Ladies, listen, if I suck in bed, it's because I'm just bad at it. But I promise you, I'm giving it my best. Now, that said, like anyone, there are times that I get distracted. On some occasions, well, the distraction is obvious. Like the time I got a Charlie horse and audibly screamed. I'm not proud, but it happened. Or that time that my dog at the time picked a very bad time to place his cold, wet nose directly onto my unsuspecting poop chute. Brought things to a quick end. Now, Miles, he was once distracted during sex, frankly, because a woman he was swapping sweat with happened to have a tail. I think I'd be distracted, too. But there are all kinds of things that can divert our attention during sexy time. The folks over BuzzFeed, they ask people to share the most uncomfortable things that happen to them during sex, and the answers range from, watching a spider land on someone's face, to getting farted on, to a cat jumping on and clawing a man's ass. But those scenarios, in my opinion, they're better than the results of a British survey, where the Brits admit that they get distracted by things like household chores, meal planning, or even work. But hey, distractions happen. And that's what today's question is, and we would like your answer to it. We would like to know what unsexual thing distracted you during sex.
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the men's room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
On July 24th through the 28th, it's buy 2, get 1 free on Country Companion Feed, buy 3, get 1 free on Sunglow Show Feed, and buy 3, get 1 free on large bags of Purina Feed.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Get more feed for less this week at your local Coastal.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the shows, away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4144. What a large and a charged program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve the Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck to some degree. It is up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. How's this week looking?
I'll put it this way. There's nothing about the Navy, but there's a whole lot of seamen involved.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Good times coming up with Who Sucks Less.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
Updated locations coming up for you, too, on the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewing Company. Don't forget their big party is Saturday, the Flock Party, starting at noon up at the Woodinville facility. They do have 2 breweries. Keep that in mind. You want to go to the Woodinville one. Live music, food trucks. They've got a guy who's serving some Uli's famous sausage of the Men's Room beer brat variety as well. Get up there and taste the new Men's Room IPA from Black Raven if you haven't. If not, they're going to have some specialty beers they're making just for the event.
Oh, nice.
Live music, Stoned Evergreen Travelers playing later on in the afternoon, but live music all day. And it's going to be a good day. Absolutely free. Stuff for the kids, face painting, the whole deal. It's all ages. Take the family up there.
Yeah, I'm not bringing my kids.
And probably going to join Black Raven for the Flock Party. I think we're all stopping by there at some point in time during the day to get some beer and enjoy the festivities. What else? Let's see here today. Oh, our question. We're going to talk about things that are unsexual that distracted you during sex. Now, a couple things on today's question. You don't need to get real descriptive about what the acts are at the time, what is exactly going on.
We know you're having sex.
You know, and
what's the distraction?
You know when the girl doing it, you don't need to do any of that. There's going to be a distraction involved one way or another. Look, man, there's always a distraction. When I was in high school, for the most part, there was nowhere to go, so you found a place to park. Now, whether it was a cop, a security officer, one of your friends who also know those spots, driving up with their lights off, sneaking up on you. There's all kinds of things that can disturb the moment one way or another.
Even if it's not disturbing, but it's something you can't take your eyes off, like your girlfriend's dog is in the room. It's not even looking at you. It's not being aggressive, but for whatever reason, while you're having sex, it takes this time to kick up its leg and start licking its ass.
That's right.
And then you realize, I can't take my eyes off this, and I really wish the dog would stop doing this.
Absolutely. I've had some weird things happen during sex. At one point in time, this is back when I was in college. I was 19 years old. I owned a waterbed, and the way the waterbed was positioned, it was in basically a bay window of a bedroom.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this was an old building. Think like Victorian-looking building. Tons of they divided this building into, like, God Almighty, like 6 different apartments.
Of course they did.
It was one of those big ass old buildings, and it had glass pane windows. And my girlfriend spent the night at the time, and we woke up in the morning and started to get a little bit frisky there. And right in the middle of it, I had an old-fashioned alarm clock.
All right.
You know, digital, but an alarm clock. And and it was loud because I needed something that sounded like a bullhorn to wake my ass up. So we are in the middle of the action, and the alarm goes off. Whatever time it was, 8 o'clock. I don't know. Yeah. We were already ahead of the alarm. I just set it. I forgot about it. Set it and forget it. Right in the middle of all this, and that's basically the buzzer I had it set to. Did not really look. Went over to stop this thing, and I just lifted I did not realize how far I was up on the bed. I threw my arm out and put my hand through the pane glass window.
Oh, Jesus,
it was a single pane window. It was one of those where you kind of look through and it has a little bit of a rainbow to it. The edges are like etched in lead. I mean, it's an old-ass window, right? But I put my hand through it effortlessly. I mean, it was clean. I just hit it in the right spot, just on the palm. The entire thing shattered. I was on the 3rd floor, by the way. All that glass fell down on the cars below in the parking lot. That stopped the action immediately.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I needed to get up. I needed to start cleaning up glass in my apartment. I needed to go outside and see if I did any damage to the cars below, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I then needed to call the landlord because there was no screen in the window or anything like that. It was just an old-ass window. And that took a little time to repair. And he came in and he asked me, well, what happened?
Did you tell him?
I said, I came home, man. I don't know whether the sun was hitting it or whatever. I just think it just burst.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Because there was nothing around the edges.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole window figured out a way to shatter all on its own. At the time when I was living there, I did not have a vacuum cleaner. Shocking for a 19-year-old. Just did not own one.
Yeah, of course.
Borrowed one of the neighbors. Vacuumed up as much glass as I possibly could, but that stopped the action there. Same apartment, different girl. 2 o'clock in the morning. 1:30 in the night, 1:30 in the morning. There's one place, there's a few places, but there's one place that was open 24 hours a day. It was a 24-hour convenience store. They also served food fresh to order for the most part, 24 hours a day. They had subs and they had some other things. But one thing they did have, they had fried chicken. Now, when they gave you a box of fried chicken, you definitely got like a 2 or 3 piece, but then they would also include some JoJo potatoes. Now, the way they did their JoJo potatoes was they dipped those potato logs in the same batter that they used for their fried chicken. So the potatoes had a fried chicken delicious coating on the outside.
Nice.
Then they would take that box and they would top it with 6 potato dinner rolls. Think of the break-apart roll. They're all together. They cover the top to keep the heat in kind of thing. And they cover the top of the box. They are delicious. They're same size as your Hawaiian roll. They're just as delicious. But we come home after we get this big box of chicken because we're starving. We sit down. I turn the TV on. We start getting a little bit frisky, okay? So things are going on, and I'm just kind of sitting there, right? So the action is happening, but I am not the one doing any of the business.
Yeah, you get a mouth hug.
Right, totally. But the chicken's right there. And it's literally 2 feet away from me on the coffee table. And I can smell the fried chicken and how I can see the steam coming out of the corners of the boxes. And I'm just like, you know what I really wanted? I just wanted a piece of the skin. I didn't care if I ripped it off of the potato log because I could smell how good it was. And they had great batter, like he just almost better than the chicken itself. So while this is going on, I reached over and I popped open the lid on the box and I moved the rolls. And then I grabbed, and this is all like, this is just complete. I cannot keep I cannot not focus on this box of chicken. Right. I'm starving, I'm hammered, and I'm hungry. And I reach over, and right on the top was a chicken leg. Okay. So I grab the chicken leg because it's the most convenient, and I bite into it. And when I bite into it, some crumbs fall down on top of her head. I picked a couple of the crumbs out, and I ate them. All right?
You ate the crumbs because the skin is.
It was a pretty good chunk. It was like the crispy part.
This is like hedonism at its finest. This is true
right?
king mentality.
I have a chicken leg in my hand.
Right.
By the way, leg not my favorite part of the chicken. But
like, do you have football on the TV just to complete the trifecta?
No, it's 2 o'clock. It's probably like Byron Allen or something. There wasn't a lot of selection at 2 o'clock in the morning back then. But I got 2 or 3 bites in. I'm sitting there, and I'm holding the leg, and I have another roommate. But my roommate is, I think my roommate is gone to bed because my roommate never shut his door, ever.
Right.
For any reason other than when he went to sleep.
Yeah.
So when we came in, I was like, quiet, Chad's asleep. No, we're not just... We'll get in the bedroom, but we're going to eat that chicken. But things got a little bit crazy first. So all of a sudden, there was a glass, like a foggy glass window on the door to the apartment, and I see a shadow come up to that foggy glass door, and boom, no time. Boom. Now, Chad's hammered, thank God. And he walks into the living room, and he stops, and he looks over, and he looks at me, and she gets up, and I'm sitting there with a chicken leg in my hand, and she sits up real quick. And Chad just walks by, and he rips off a roll, and then he just walks into his bedroom and shuts the door. That stopped the action right away when Chad got home, because then he got up and used the bathroom. So by this point in time, we're like, let's just eat.
Did she realize now that there's chicken in your hand?
I don't believe she did. I don't, because she was so startled by him walking in. I had the chicken like up there, like this. I was holding the chicken because I was like, oh, God.
I respect he snagged a biscuit. Or a roll.
I respect that Miles was so stealthy about it as to not let her know that he's actually more about the chicken than the mouth hug.
I didn't see anything.
And pulled crumbs out of her hair because it was that good.
I don't know that I've really combined too much food.
No.
Going back to Mike's point, definitely one girl at the Bunny Ranch, I was watching football with a bucket of Miller Lite. But I'll just say we were both watching Maryland. Go Terps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love that chicken story, man. I'm sorry.
I've never heard that part that he grabbed a roll. Because, like, if I walked in on you and you're getting serviced, I probably would have been like, I'm going to take a wing.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it.
Well,
she doesn't.
I'm trying to see if I can get a picture of that delicious fried chicken, but I can't. But either way, man, if you're ever in Morgantown, West Virginia, and it's late night, the bars stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning, and one thing you can count on is Dairy Mart fried chicken and chicken logs.
Yeah.
With rolls. Oh, don't get me wrong. They got, potato salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw, you name it. They got all the sides, baked beans. But get the chicken logs. What is the most unsexual thing that distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
First off, love the IPA. I was definitely the youngest guy at the Black Raven party.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right on, man.
How old were you, 14?
24.
Okay.
But, so getting into the story, me and my buddies like to go camping, and it was me and my buddy and 3 other girls. It was their idea, and, we were camping, and, eventually the 5 of us got in a tent together, and it was getting hot and heavy, and next thing I know, I get a phone call from my dad, and my cat I've had my whole life died that night.
Oh.
I could not perform anymore.
Really?
My cat died.
I don't normally laugh at people's cats dying,
So
but
it's
almost like your cat reached out to the universe and said, not only do I want to die and break his heart, but also, what's the worst possible time for me to do this?
Was this cat your best friend growing up? Like, was he your cat, essentially?
Yeah, she was all the time. Every time I got home from school or anything, right at the front door.
Okay, what was the cat's name?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi. What kind of cat was Chi-Chi?
She was black.
She's a black cat. How long did she live?
What's up, Mama?
She was 19, I think.
Oh, damn. So when you get this news, because you're still in the tent with these people, you got to explain you can't perform now. Do they sympathize with you and they calm down, or do they just say, hey, man, you're the odd one out because we're still doing it?
Or is it your buddy now having to fight them all off?
I like to think I was the life of the party that night, so as soon as I left, the energy kind of died down.
As soon as you left?
Well, like, I don't really know how I saw my phone, but I just saw it, and like it got soft, and I just got up and left the tent.
Were you upset?
Without saying a word.
Were you visibly upset?
I think so. I'm kind of hammered, so I don't know.
Okay, if everyone's gotten hammered, I'm telling you, your buddy was kind of glad you rolled out.
Yeah.
Because there's more for him. Hey, man, I'll give you sympathy for the cat later. What made you even answer the phone? Because in that moment, I could see that it's one of my parents calling. I'm sure it's mildly important, but I'm not taking the call yet.
I don't know. I knew my cat was on its deathbed, and I knew that phone call was coming, and I guess she just, one last, middle finger.
That is so typical of a cat. You know what I mean? Even if your cat likes you, they're a bit douchey. That's like the ultimate move. God damn, buddy.
Yeah, Dairy Mart's still selling fried chicken. Hey, I cried when my cat died. Senior Larry. Oh, man.
I think most people do. I don't blame that guy. He grew up with that cat.
I was thinking cats live so freaking long. Even if you don't like it, you kind of like it at that point.
That was Larry. When Dr. Gomez died, I was like, nah, whatever.
He was mean.
He was so mean. I felt bad, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was a sad moment.
Well, even when mean people die, I don't wish death upon anybody.
No.
But it's like, yeah.
I mean, I don't wish it, but some people I'm like, and? Like, sorry, man, no sympathy here.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime, made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Hi, and welcome to IKEA. How can I help?
Oh, my schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
Maybe it's time to embrace the joy of staying in. With comfortable beds, pillow and decor, mood lighting, and so much more, you can turn your bedroom into the place to be.
Oh, sounds like a dream.
We've got you. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create your dream bedroom today.
Welcome to a trip you'll never forget in Denver, where summer sunshine sparks mountain adventure, where neighborhood strolls lift spirits sky high, and where music takes center stage at Red Rocks. Catch a baseball game at Coors Field, step into new dimensions at Meow Wolf, and take flavor to the next level under the stars at a Michelin restaurant. Denver, always welcome. Plan your trip at visitdenver.com/summer.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, here's Kettle. Going at it. Up in Alaska. Windows open. We're in the middle of nowhere. A moose walks past the window. The moose stops, turns its head, looks into the window, and will not stop watching. Oh, damn. A moose. Another. One of those big-ass jars of pretzels.
Mouse.
What's that?
Moose out front, should have told you.
Exactly. Big-ass jar of pretzels fell off a shelf and onto my head.
Oh, damn.
In the middle of coitus. Partner accidentally grabbed the curtain instead of the corner of the pillow and pulled the railing down. I looked up and locked eyes with my gay next-door neighbor who lived in the building beside us. We never spoke of it. And one more. This is random. We had the window cracked open and just some kid outside trying to learn how to play kazoo. Kind of drove us crazy. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen. Happy hump day.
Hola.
So, I was with my first girlfriend, and we were going into some sexy times. She wanted to do some karaoke on me, so she started. It was getting good. Then all of a sudden, she threw up on my ding-ding.
Ta-da!
Threw up on your ding-ding, huh?
Yep, and that immediately put the end to everything that day.
Did you take it personally, or had you guys been maybe drinking or something before that?
No, we had not been drinking. I just kind of assumed that she wasn't as proficient as she had let on.
Or you got an nasty D, bro. I mean, hey, takes two to tango there.
True enough.
And threw up. So you immediately just go wash yourself off and act like it never happened?
No. I kind of sat there for a moment because I had to let it register. Then all of a sudden, I just completely ignored the mess that was in my lap, and I was trying to attend to her, figure out what was going on, and she was just so apologetic and yeah.
If you're not drunk or have a stomach flu or something's going on with you, typically as an adult, maybe bad food, but you don't typically just throw up.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, that's his D. Or just she got it in her head like, this is not something I want to do. This is disgusting to me. And then,
Or she was really good at it.
Real
The
good.
things that throw up in my house most of the time are kids and animals.
Yep.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803.
I mean, Miles, I hope that's for the bulk of us.
Yeah.
Like if you're just puking at home all the time, something's wrong.
Right.
I have had sex and I could hear my cat puking. We could both hear the cat puking. And it's, because they take so long to finally do it. So you're and I'm running around and I'm like, I'm trying to ignore this. And then the wife's like, should we do something about it? I'm like, look, I can't prevent the cat from puking. We're going to finish this. We'll just find the puke pile later. But I'm not stopping.
Speaking of cats, husband and I going at it. We hadn't seen each other in about 3 months. We were very excited. Then a giant flying cockroach suddenly landed on his back and climbed up on his shoulder. Our cat immediately jumped to the rescue and swatted the roach away, started playing with the cockroach on the floor, and killed it. There was so much screaming and chaos that we kind of lost the moment.
Yeah, I bet that happens.
I had some candles lit to enhance the mood. My cat brushed up against one and caught his tail on fire, then leapt onto the bed in a great flaming ball. We had to stop to put my cat's tail out. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Couple of texts here. It says, cops knocking on the car window while receiving a mouth hug. Let's see here. My girlfriend and I were in the middle of having sex, and while she was tagging along with me for wildlife photography, and just as I was close to finishing, I felt something crawling in my ass. It was a tarantula. Totally ruined the moment.
A tarantula?
A tarantula.
Where were you?
Let's see. Children knocking on the door asking, what's that noise? Also them walking in on us in the middle of an oral situation. That they'll never get out of their head.
We're wrestling.
Somebody says, I used to own this I used to date this girl that owned a cattle dog. I had my ex in a particular position. No joke. The dog started to herd me away by biting my ankles because Mama was screaming so much. That's the thing about those herding dogs, man.
I had a girl that just had a small dog that would just stare at us.
I think that's weirder.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, after a couple weeks, I was like, he's got to leave the room.
He's got to leave the room. Let's see. Back in high school, my ex-wife and I were getting busy in the bathtub. Tub was full of water. I put my knee through the side, flooded the downstairs. Needless to say, that stopped the sexy time. Good Lord, man. Hello, Jane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hey, I've got a story. So I used to date a guy who was very romantic, and I came home from work, and he had flowers and candles lit. So needless to say, one thing led to another, and we were getting hot and heavy. Things were shifting around. I had this amazing lace pillow on the bed, and it got a little too close to the candle and burst into flames. Yeah, super great. Needless to say, it ended everything really quickly, and luckily there is a bathroom attached to the bedroom, and was able to rush the pillow into the bathroom, into the sink, and stop worse disaster.
Did you guys get back to the action after you put the pillow out, or did that really just kill the moment?
I mean, that killed the moment for right then.
Okay.
Later was another story, but yeah.
Obviously, by asking these questions, I'm not the most romantic gentleman in the world, but I have to ask anyway. In that situation, you walk in, there are flowers, the music's on, candles are lit, obviously. Does that really turn you on as a woman?
Well, especially with him, it wasn't something that was rare. He would do things like that pretty often. So I think the fact that it was kind of a constant thing was a turn on, because I knew he did it to appreciate me.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's why I'm asking.
How long from the time, because you get home and the candles are lit, the flowers are there, the mood is set, right? How long from the time that you get home until you jump into sack? I'm asking for a friend.
Maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
I mean, would it matter if he did all that and just brought in hey, man, we're grilling hot dogs. He comes in with some buns, some ballpark franks. Is this still romance?
I need a little bit more than hot.
No. Okay, I'm just asking.
No.
It's a nice hot summer day.
It's not romance.
Okay, all right. So what I'm saying, does the food matter at this point?
Yeah, so you got candles, you got flowers, you got music.
Right.
It just happens to be hot dogs.
Does the food matter at this point?
Right. Because people say oysters are sexy.
Maybe
and in my mind, I'm like, oysters are the least sexy thing you can eat, but for whatever reason, they're
if
equated.
you're going through the trouble to set up the flowers or the petals and the candles and everything, you're not cooking hot dogs.
All right.
But what if I ran out of money, man?
Oven's on 425. I got a DiGiorno.
No, remember, he started the statement with, I'm not romantic.
I'm just saying, does the food matter at that point? If I've done everything else, does it matter really what we eat?
I think as a guy, it does not.
No, it doesn't.
That's
what I'm
just
asking.
Whatever, man. I got you a bag of Doritos. Like, cool. If you're telling me you still want to have sex, I'm down with this. But it is weird, the foods that people call sexy, right? Because it's like oysters. And I'm like, think about the look of an oyster.
They don't call them sexy. It's
That's
supposed to be an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, sure.
And go to any, look, I used to watch No Reservations with Anthony Bourdain, right?
Yeah.
I'll still watch reruns. And he always makes that joke. Whatever country you go to, there's some local liquor or something. Everybody's like, it's a natural aphrodisiac. And he's like, you hear this in every part of the world.
But I'm convinced that they came up with the idea that oysters are an aphrodisiac to convince people to try to eat oysters. And look, I enjoy oysters. It's not that. But when you first look at them and you think of the texture and the consistency of it in your mouth, I'm like, who's the guy that came up with the sales pitch and said, look, just tell people it gets people in the mood. Because otherwise, nobody's eating these things.
Not only that, but
oysters contain that much zinc. Foods rich in zinc, like oysters, may stimulate dopamine production and promote healthier sexual function and enhance sexual pleasure.
Why do we keep buying zinc pills?
Okay,
no reason, baby. Just pop one.
Okay, but she comes over. I've got a dozen oysters.
Yeah.
Game on. Now I've got 2 rubber gloves on. I've got a small paring knife. I'm shucking oysters. My entire kitchen smells like low tide. Is this sexy?
It's going to work.
Again, I would say if you're trying to be romantic, I would probably have them pre-shucked.
Hang on a second, baby.
Yeah, Now you're flirting with disaster on the backside.
Right. That's right. That is one thing with oysters.
Yeah,
like,
man, you need to leave. You can't just take them home with you.
I think it's more like give me 2 hours to make sure that these things are going to stay in my body. You know, because like when you have a bad oyster, at least in my experience, I didn't realize it at the time. I don't know which one it was. They all kind of look the same. They all look innocent, but one of them at least has done disastrous things in my body. And for me personally, it's all the food poisonings that I've had. Oyster seafood poisoning was by far the worst.
See, I would rather have hot dogs or a DiGiorno pizza than boneless chicken breast, broccoli, and rice.
Right, no doubt.
To me, just to be like, it's a chick meal.
Get ribs.
Yeah, right.
I'm down with ribs, man. Got a big old plate of ribs. I wash my hands.
It's a supreme pizza.
But I think after you have sex, you can eat whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm just saying, I think if you put in, Miles, I'm telling you, if you put in that much time, which I'd be impressed with, I know you'd cook something nice. You cook like a steak or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're going to have a romantic dinner. You can't be like, oh, my God, got footlongs.
Mozzarella sticks in the air fryer, baby.
You like Funyuns?
See, I'd be excited about that. Mozzarella sticks in the air fryer as an appetizer? Like the TGI Friday frozen ones? What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
Aloha.
Hola.
What's cracking, fellas?
Oh, just doing the show.
Hey, all right, I got a good one for you. So I was in the Navy, and I blew my knee out like once a year for probably 2 or 3 years, and they kept telling me it was tendonitis.
Mm-hmm.
And so fast forward, I get to Auburn. I'm in school there. I'm having crazy mug girlfriend at the time blow my knee out.
In the act? Did you during the act?
Right.
Did you scream?
No.
Really?
No. I heard the pop. I knew what it was. I mean, I was in pain. I just rolled over on my back. I was like, baby, you got to finish.
Right.
You got to finish. I
don't want to stop doing this, but I can't put in the work.
Did you ever get your knee fixed?
I did. We went to the ER that night. I ended up having surgery. Completely tore my inner meniscus.
But that's what it took for you to get this taken care of. It was basically just a sex
I don't want
injury.
this to happen again
It happened over
in this
and
situation.
over and over, but now you decided it's the time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
No, it makes complete sense, man. I've never had, I got a Charlie horse once, we're doing that position, so I'm behind, and it's great. Like, we were having very, very, very good sex, and then just the back of my calf, man, just shot into a ball, and I just remember, it's just reactionary. First of all, I screamed, not a good look, and like both of my hands just hit her ass cheeks and pushed her off. Basically, she fell off the end of the bed. Like, what the hell? At this point, I'm on my back, just holding my leg. I'm like, I got a Charlie horse. She laughed, and that's what ruined the whole thing. Like, she could not stop laughing about it. A Charlie horse will pass, and I'm like, if you could just hang in there for like 5 minutes, but she's dying of laughter, and I'm like, this isn't gonna happen.
I know what stopped sex from happening for me. I was at a bar. There was an outside area that had about a 3.5, 4 foot high concrete cinder block wall.
Yeah.
People would just sit up on there. It was a bar that was hot. It was the summertime. It's not that you needed to walk outside to smoke, but, you just go outside to get some fresh air, light up a cigarette, whatever. I'm sitting up on this wall. It's enough where you have to kind of give yourself like a dip push-up to get on it.
Yeah.
And it was a girl that I liked, and she was there, and she wanted to jump up and sit between my legs, so I kind of backed up on the wall a little bit. And as she put her hands in between my legs to push herself up, I kind of grabbed underneath her arms to pull her up. She kind of did a jump thing. I pulled her up, and as soon as I kind of just plopped her down, her butt down on the cinder block, it went... I don't know if it was just the tightening of my core when I tried to pick her up in the seated position or whatever. I completely blew one out for about 5. It was like, and it wouldn't stop. And she jumped the hell down, and I never had a shot again. Ever.
Yeah.
She's like, you farted on me. And I was like, I didn't mean to fart on you. I was trying to pick you up. And she's like, yeah, but you farted all over me. And I was like, I did, yes. But
But it wasn't intentional.
Correct. Exactly.
I think it's one of the worst things when you have to fart during sex, man. One, just based on the rhythm. And here's my dilemma with that, because that, to me, is a distraction, right? You're having sex, the sex is good. Is it? But you have to fart. right? And then you have to make this decision, like, do I try to quietly sneak it out as I'm doing this, which to me, damn near impossible, just because, like I said, the thrusting of your hips is probably not going to work out. But then the other hand is, like, I want to get to the point that I'm going to finish, but once that muscle relaxed, right, you have no control. So it's like, do I fart during sex, or do I just blow out one big one as I'm also finishing, right?
Either way, the act is done as soon as that fart leaves your butt.
Well, that's why, Mike, and this is very selfish, I choose to wait until I'm finishing, right? I'm hoping that it won't happen. You know damn well it will, because it's been waiting the whole time. This moment happens, I have no muscle control below my hips, and just, and while it's gross and it ruins the mood, at least I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I've crossed the line of the marathon. It doesn't really matter to me what's happening at that point.
Oh, I've definitely stopped because of a stomach ache.
Did you return, or did you just say, like,
No.
I can't? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like, we were just kind of getting on. I'm just like, I got to stop. Why? I'm like, my stomach is upset. Like, this is not going to go well.
I don't want to poop myself.
Once NASA aborts the launch, you got to give it a while.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody's like, oh, sweet, you just use the bathroom. Let's have sex.
You just pooped? Oh, keep the door open. Let's some of that in here.
Couple more. Tornado
Unless
siren.
that's your thing.
Tornado siren followed
And I'm your
by
guy.
take shelter immediately message. We moved our party then down to the basement. Here's another. My dog sneezed 13 times in a row. After the fifth sneeze, we couldn't stop laughing. Definitely a mood killer. Here's another one. Back to camping. A bunch of geese pushed their way through the netting in the tent that was unzipped. Found my husband's bare bum cheeks quite fascinating. Oh, man. Another one. Speaking of farting. Roommate farting a 7+ second fart loudly in the common room outside my door and then proclaiming, oh, my effing, thank God. He did not know we were home, and we were in there dying. And going at it in a high-rise hotel when I look over to see a window washer dangling outside the window, just looking at us washing away.
Oh, yeah.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
If you're looking for a top-tier casino experience close to you, why not try the one voted Best of South Sound and Best of Southwest Washington 2023? Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel has it all. Hot new slots, thrilling table games, 4 eclectic restaurants, sportsbook and live entertainment that keeps your adrenaline pumping. It's the place to add some excitement to your life. Come to the South Sound's home casino. Come to Lucky Eagle.
Lucky Eagle. Hey, it's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for Seattle businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a Seattle business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews, or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hi, and welcome to IKEA. How can I help?
Oh, my schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
Maybe it's time to embrace the joy of staying in. With comfortable beds, pillow and decor, mood lighting, and so much more, you can turn your bedroom into the place to be.
Oh, sounds like a dream.
We've got you. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create your dream bedroom today.
It's time to dust off your glove, grab your bat, and hit the road for some baseball. But before you head to the game, make sure your ride is in top shape. At Axton Automotive, our skilled mechanics ensure your vehicle is running smoothly so you can focus on cheering for your team. Don't strike out this spring. Get your car ready for baseball season. Visit AxtonAutomotive.com or call 360-685-7976.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
What sexual thing distracted you during sex? Few more. Going at it in the woods, and a deer came up to us halfway through and kept sneezing at us. It wouldn't stop looking. Girlfriend and I used to constantly get interrupted by Pandora commercial breaks between music that started abruptly with, "Do you have herpes?" Oh, damn. Not so much an interruption, but my girlfriend and I were having sex, and just as we were both concluding, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake happened about 200 kilometers away, and it rocked and rolled the bed and the house a lot. Fortunately, no one died. We pat ourselves in the back for having sex so good it made the earth shake.
Yeah, man.
And the other one, smoke detector going off because of all the candles we lit. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Terrell. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So I used to be in an abusive relationship back in the day. I used to get beat up by a 5'1" white girl. And so she bought me a pit bull as a gift. I loved her. I fed her. I walked her. I did everything for this dog. So in return, she loved me. So we're having sex one day, and she didn't know the difference between her fighting and us enjoying ourselves. So she busted in the room one day, and she bit her on the arm.
Oh, damn.
So she was pissed. Get your freaking dog. Get out. Get your freaking dog. And I was like, you can't blame her. I mean, from a dog's point of view, she don't know what's going on.
That's right.
So I wasn't mad. I thought it was funny. I continued. It was fine. We laughed about it. The time I didn't like, she busted in the room. But at this point, we knew better. She can't come in the room. Make sure the door is closed. I was almost positive. I closed the door. I put the hamper in front of the door because she is a pit bull and she's smart. Before I know it, there is a cold, wet nose in my butt crack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
And it completely shut everything down. Everything.
It becomes insta-soft. Like, instantly. I don't know, where does all the blood in your erection go, right? Because it takes a moment for your erection to show up because it's pumping blood there. Your dog puts that cold-ass nose on your backside, brother. I mean, like, gone. And, like, I don't know where my body takes that blood, but, like, there's none left.
But animals are like kids. You just don't want them in your bedroom then.
No.
And I was so close. I was almost at my finish.
Oh, no.
I was at my point, and I'm like, all right, this sucks. Like, this isn't fun.
It's not.
All I could just think about was wet, cold nose. I'm like, I can't even get back.
If you have not had the experience, there are few things that feel like that. Very, very few.
First and last.
You know what, man?
Last, and I hope it never happens again.
And look, I'm not a doctor, right? But they talk about, like, if you take Viagra and you have an erection more than 4 hours, come see a doctor. Like, I'm going to put peanut butter in your butt. Just let this dog go over there. Brother, I promise you, that thing's going to go away.
One of the longer threads that I thought was pretty entertaining was this guy who, one of his best friends, either was going overseas on assignment or he was teaching someplace or he's going to be gone for like 3 or 4 months. He also had his parents and his family parrot. He needed a place to have the parrot, so his buddy said he would watch the parrot, set up the cage in the living room, the whole deal. And when he and his girl were together, the parrot was mimicking the sounds that it heard in the bedroom while they were having sex. This is from the living room, but they could still hear. Like anytime they said anything or anything,
that was the response.
The parrot would just ape them, basically.
I don't know what it is with my dog now. Here's the thing. So our bedroom door to the master bedroom, years ago, the kids locked it from the outside, so we could not get back inside. So finally, did what any father does when you realize you're not particularly handy, and just kick the door open. But it busted, so the door just won't close all the way.
Right.
Like you can close it, but you just take your hand, you can push it open. Our dog, and I understand she's a herding dog, like any time that we have sex in our bedroom, because now we'll have to go down to like the guest room just to get away from the dog, I'll kind of throw the dog out of the room. And then once we get going at it, man, you hear the door open, dog jumps up on the bed. Doesn't get involved, but she is like 6 inches away from me. And like anything, she's just
looking at you.
And it's distracting. So I was, we're having sex. We're kind of giggling about it, but I get my hands kind of on the rib cage, and I push her off the bed, right? Within 3 seconds, she's right back up on the bed. And it's like I'm used to it because I know what's going to happen. I know there's nothing we can do other than throw her ass outside or duct tape her to a wall or something. But just to continually have to push her off is an issue. And then when you flip positions, every time you change positions, she feels the need to creep maybe 3 inches closer.
Yeah, opportunity.
It is, right? So, like, you kind of roll over now, whereas the dog that had been 1 foot away is now 9 inches away, but still staring at me with this kind of hopeful look like I'm going to play with her next or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, I got to stop because you won't stop staring at me, man. So we have to find anywhere other than our bedroom to have sex if we just want to have sex and peace. So the last time that we snuck down to the guest room, right, and seriously, because it's like, we got to get away from the dog. I'm not doing this. I just want to have sex with you. I don't feel like dealing with the dog the whole time. Go down to the guest room. Kids are home. Trying to keep it somewhat quiet. We do our thing. No big deal. Roll upstairs. We're both in a great mood. Son walks up to me, looks very concerned, and says, Dad. I'm like, what's up, man? It's like, I think Molly puked somewhere. I'm like, well, it's okay. We'll clean it up. But no, it doesn't make sense because he was in the sister's room the whole time, and she swears that the dog didn't puke. I'm like, wait, run this by me? He goes, there's no puke anywhere, and the dog was up here with us, but we heard the dog puking. And I realized they equate the dog puking probably to how I sound when I'm having sex. Oh. So they thought it was the dog puking. What they actually heard were me and the wife having sex downstairs. You want to get your ego shrunk a little bit, that's the moment. Because since then, when I hear the dog puke, I'm like, and I can't help it. This is not the thought I want, but I hear the dog puke, and I'm like, that is what I sound like when I'm having sex.
Miles, the dog would jump on the bed. But the problem
that's what I mean, dude. It sounds like puke. It doesn't sound like sex. I'm like, that's what my kids think I sound
it's all
like.
scent-based. So when he jumped up on the bed, the first thing he would do is put his face right into my wife's face.
Mm-hmm.
But he was panting, and his breath was awful. So it wasn't even the fact that he was that close. It was just the fact that his breath, he was like, and it was just like, golly, dude.
Right.
And then the other dog, Honey, she would be on the floor, had no interest in getting up on the bed. But again, I think it's a scent thing. She would start cleaning herself, so to speak.
And she was a loud cleaner, bro.
You heard this, man. Like, it was just like, Honey, stop. And it wasn't too different from what was going on up on the bed, but still, like, stop.
But it's situational.
You got to get him out of the room.
I know. You have, and the other thing is, man, we immediately have to wash everything on the bed. If we do not, that dog will eat a hole through the sheets.
Also, I will say, in
In
dog's
the wet
defense,
spot.
though, if I'm walking down the street and I see two dogs having sex, I'm going to stop and stare at them.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look at that, man. Those dogs are having sex.
I mean, maybe for a second or two.
I don't think I'd run over and be like, hey.
I'm not going to sit next to him and just stare with a smile. Like, look at you go. Just ignore me.
Kids were having a sleepover at my mom's, so my wife and I decided to pop a couple of gummies. Now, she is very much a novice and rarely partakes in anything like that. So eventually we get to doing our thing, and she just starts giggling. And I ask her, what's funny? And in a stereotypical high thought, she says, do you ever think about how weird it is, like, that a part of your body goes, like, inside a part of my body? Like, there's a person, like, really in me right now. I proceeded to do hysterically laugh for the next 10 minutes and still tease her about it. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola. So, Jane,
are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
So, in the beginning of mine and my boyfriend's relationship, we were doing it, and my dog came up and licked his butthole. It didn't stop us, though. She left us alone, and we ended up finishing.
Ta-da!
Yeah, we joke about it.
Yeah, back to the animals in the bedroom.
So it was just one lick and the dog rolled out?
Well, no, we shoot her away.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, the dogs are always in her bed.
Are you
so-
still dating this guy?
Yes.
Do you still have the dog?
Yes.
Does he request that the dog perhaps be removed from any area that you're going to have sex?
No, we actually make jokes about him being the father of the puppies.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
He's
Fair enough.
my dad when we're doing it, so, you know.
Okay.
The whole family affair, apparently.
And it's weird to me, man. Dogs will always try to get involved, but I think cats are worse than dogs.
They are, because they're dangerous.
Cats, there's the difference. If a dog wants to attack you, it just does it. A cat, it's sitting on the dresser. It has been staring at you for 20 minutes. And it's weird because cats, it seems like when they're really focused, they just won't blink. Mm-hmm. You can take a hairdryer, blow it in their face, like, for whatever reason. They're not blinking their eyes. Then you start looking at the tail, and I'm like, is this thing going to jump off this goddamn dresser and attack? Yeah. I'm not worried about my cat, but other people's cats, man. And we've got a couple of texts that came in.
You can tell when they're getting ready.
But that's the thing. But I feel like the entire time you're having sex, they keep making that little adjustment they do when they're about to pounce. But I'm like, it's been 20 minutes, man. Like, either do this, because now you're freaking me out and taking me out of the game. Like, just jump on my face and claw me, just bite me, whatever you're going to do. But stop intimidating me, goddammit.
Dogs are seriously interested in what you're doing. A cat just wants to play. He thinks you're playing.
Yeah, but
so they want to play. They want to swat at things. They want to,
We've had two different texts came in today, and with the cats, both of them, it was a dude that texted in and basically got their beanbag clawed by the cat.
Oh,
right. Ow. That's what I'm saying. Like, dogs don't do that. If a dog comes in, we have to call or just call. Like, they might bite you. Not that that's great, but they don't take time to do it. They walk into the room, they're going to attack you. The cats, like, you've been watching this the whole time. You haven't blinked. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe you're cool with this. And then all at once, you jump out. And the only part of my body that's swinging is probably my satchel. And that's what you're going for.
Went on a Tinder date, didn't realize this guy had mirrors all around his bed. I look over to my right and wasn't ready to see my reflection on the wall. I thought it was another person watching. I yelled in surprise, scaring him. Ruined the mood completely. And I also like this one. Recently had 8 stitches just below the kneecap. I pulled them apparently prematurely, and the wound opened during happy good fun times, and I was bleeding all over. Oof. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, oddly enough, a couple days ago, the old lady and I were laying in bed watching NCIS. We're getting frisky, fooling around, and she starts to sing some karaoke there, and starting to enjoy it. We're getting into it, and then all of a sudden, the TV, starts erupting. Something's going on, scene in the TV show, and she still got the microphone up to her mouth, but just not singing. And, a few seconds had passed, and the excitement had ceased on the TV programming, but she was still there, not singing, but still microphone up to her mouth there. And we both just busted out laughing, and I couldn't imagine what the TV was looking at, what sight that TV was seeing. And, 5-10 minutes had passed after laughing, and we got back into it and, enjoyed the time after that. But it was pretty comical when it had happened.
I'm curious to know, what was the scene on TV where she's like, oh, hell this, I'm watching this?
You got me, man. I got no clue. I wasn't watching the TV.
Yeah, you had tuned out at that point.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, totally.
That's the problem. Like, I don't know. I could have sex during NFL football season. I know this. But, like, if the Ravens were on, it's like, babe, I'm going to tell you right now, I am distracted. Like, you can do whatever it is you want to do. It's just, I'm not going to reciprocate a lot. And truth is, whatever you're doing, they score a touchdown, I'm jumping up in the air.
There was
it's
a
just
lot.
going to happen.
There was a lot of
South Park's bad because they're kids' voices.
Yes.
anything. Man, that's
I
what
could hear it in the other room and had to go out and turn it off.
I've had it. Well, my kids were younger and they're watching like the Paw Patrols and all that kind of thing. Actually, it wasn't Paw Patrols, Little Einsteins. And they make it a point. So on Little Einsteins, they're little people. They're not puppies or not some. It's just, it's animated, but they are kids. And we're having sex, and I can hear the show start, but you kind of tune it out, right? No problem. They're watching TV. Good. We're good. And then the episode itself starts to progress, and I realize, to your point, Ted, I just hear children's voices.
Yeah,
and then because
it's
of that, I'm now listening more intently. And on that show, it's all about music and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, kids, please flip the channel. Why? We like the show. I can't explain to you why, but put on a movie that has adults in it or something. But you got the kids' voices have got to go.
The same roommate that I had that walked in on me when I was eating chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, he was from a very small town in West Virginia. High school, not the biggest one in the world, but there was a family that moved there from England. And I guess her father was like the director of something in the town. Like I can't remember what Moorfield had. They had like a Wampler plant, but he was like the CEO of whatever. But he was like, but they were owned by an English company. So this family moves into the town. It's a small town. And she was like the new it girl, right? Beautiful red curly hair. Very happy, very jovial. She was into drinking in high school because that's what she did before she moved.
They can drink there, 16, I think?
So she was kind of more of a happy-go-lucky party type woman. Now, so in college, they never dated in high school. In college, they started to hook up. And I always, it was always like, Chad, how did you hook up with this chick, man? Because she's so cool. She's so happy. She's
out of your league, man.
She's bubbly. You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. Like, well, I've known her since I was, 15, 16 years old. I'm like, well, that's awesome. But still, how in the hell did you pull this off? I came home one night, and it was about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And apparently, they were going at it. The living room was very small. The TV was right there by both of our bedroom doors. And in the middle of doing what they did, and I just came home for the aftermath because I did not interrupt them. They already stopped. Princess Diana, they started reporting on what was going on with her.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And this is like 11:30 at night when this news broke. So they were in the middle of it and all this time, breaking news about Lady. And so when I walked in, she was crying.
Right.
I mean, this is not a person you'd ever think could even shed a tear. I mean, that was just not her disposition. This was not her personality. But I guess right in the middle of it, man, it was like breaking news. Princess Diana's dead. And I mean, I think I felt
that killed the mood, I'm guessing.
Oh my God! I mean, she was inconsolable. It was just, I mean, I'd never seen her like that. And I was like, man, and she was just glued to the television. Like, you could not even talk to her. You could not comfort her. You could not say anything to her. She was just sitting there with her hands on her cheeks and her hands on her head. And I mean, she was devastated.
So to turn the TV off. Well, I can't think of it. No, just the idea that you're having sex, TV's on, right? Little arbitrary thing, but breaking news, 9/11. Like, ow, man, like, yeah, I want to know about this, but I want to know about anything when I'm done with this. That's all. Princess, like, just turn the TV off. Because the thing about breaking news is you can't predict when it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, and you can't turn the channel because it was on every single channel.
That's what I said. Right? Once she sees it, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just turn the TV off, man.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Spencer. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. So I had this one time, right? I'm driving late at night, girl in the car, and decided to have a little fun in the car. Not too bad. I'm giving a little support from under. Stopped at a stoplight, making sure, like, looking around, making sure no one's around. And this old guy pulls up right next to us at the red light and locks eyes with me midway through.
Did that injure moment of...
Oh, by far. That was definitely the most awkward situation I've ever been in my life.
Eye contact is the killer, man.
I don't think I've ever made eye contact with another man while having sex. I just can't think of it. I can't think of a scenario where that actually would go down.
I know that I haven't, only because I can't remember if I have. Because I am positive that if I had, I remember that moment.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
So, me and my lady, we're doing the business, and I want to say it was a Friday night, so, you know, we didn't have to work the next day. I'm lactose intolerant, man, and I think I had pizza that night. So, you know, we're having fun, and I feel some gas coming, and I thought I could hide it. And it started building, man, and did a thrust, and it just shot out. And then I tried to play it smooth, and then go in for another kill, and another one shot out, and then we just ended up busting out laughing.
Yeah. How do you try to play it smooth? Like, I want to know, I'm having sex, I have audibly farted. What is the move where somehow no one notices that this happened?
So I try to mask it with a manly moan, but the gas sound.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, needless to say, we kept on going, birds and the bees.
Hey, man, that means it didn't smell too bad.
Oh, no, the longer you hold it, the worse I think it smells.
I know, but man, you got to roll the dice. Because, like I said, it's just, if I fart in the middle of this, is it going to kill the mood? Or do I wait until the end where I know for a fact I'm going to fart really loud because I got no muscle control, man. This is just my money. I say you wait, but hey, everybody do their own thing. Here's a horrible one from the text line. I guess it works out. In the end, it was a medical benefit. I was at an Airbnb in a beach town. We had the windows and slider open. We're going at it doggy style. A seagull flew into the house and pecked me directly on my brown eye. It sent me through the roof that we had to stop, but I had to go to the hospital. It turns out I had a tapeworm. Oh. But I never heard from the girl again. So you found out that you had a tapeworm when you're having sex with the chick and a seagull flies in and tries to get the worm.
That is crazy.
I mean, that's...
Shout out to that seagull.
Hey, man, seagull's like, hey, brother, I'm doing you a solid.
I'm hungry.
God, that's gross, man.
Unbelievable. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for Seattle businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a Seattle business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify is here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
On July 24th through the 28th, it's buy 2, get 1 free on Country Companion Feed, buy 3, get 1 free on Sunglow Show Feed, and buy 3, get 1 free on large bags of Purina Feed.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Get more feed for less this week at your local Coastal.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Couple of quick texts here. It says, my buddies made and framed a poster-sized picture of me from high school, covered in roses, naked in a bathtub. Now, it was from a Valentine's Day with my high school sweetheart. But to get my buddy back, I put the poster on my buddy's ceiling. Well, he brought a girl home who was on his bed, looked up and said, what the F is that? That is well played, my friend. And it says, recently had an experience where my partner and I were on date night. We dropped some acid early in the evening and decided to do the deed in a public restroom. Started off really hot until someone in the stall next to us started taking a massive S, sound effects and all. We were too scared to just leave until I busted out laughing hysterically. Totally ruined the mood, but damn, it was hilarious.
Wife and I dated for a number of years, and then we moved out here to Seattle. And 2007, we decided to get married back in Baltimore. Now, we did have a hotel room, but as things go, we ended up going there a couple of times, a couple of weekends, just to scope out potential places to get married, blah, 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 all those things. Now, we are still not married, okay?
Yeah.
But her mom was cool and said, look, you guys stay at my place, and it's no big deal.
Sure.
Which, is a nice gesture, being the fact that most in this society, people are, okay, well, if you're married, then you can sleep together. But she was like, hey, man, you guys can just stay in there in her old bedroom. Well, I had never been. I had never walked in that bedroom before because it was in a part of the home that I'd never been. I'd been over a couple times for dinner or whatever, but just never got back. I didn't even know she still had a bedroom.
Yes,
but that's where we're going to spend the night. So we get there, open the door, and it's like time had stood still. The bedspread was the same bedspread she had as a kid.
All right.
The pictures that she had up in her room were her school pictures from the actual school photographer that you get for your year.
Oh, right. Blue background, all that crap.
And she's in 5th grade. She's in 6th grade. She's in whatever. And, the decorations were the same. The books were the same. Nothing had been touched. It was her room.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think her mom took down was a couple of, NSYNC posters.
Sure.
Other than that, it was her room, her lamp, her everything. And it was all little girl themed. It was also a full-size bed. It was like the white metal kind of looking.
Comes up to like a semicircle kind of.
Yeah, exactly. There's a headboard. There's a footboard. It's very much a little girl's bed.
Right.
It looks like a trundle bed almost. But anyway, it had this really nice little gate around it. And whatever. And we're in there for whatever reason. She gets very excited, and to the point where normally I'm the one that initiates that kind of activity, but
sure.
she was ready to go down,
fired up.
Now, granted, her mother and her stepdad are asleep. Literally one door down.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not stop looking around at just the fact that I'm in a little kid's room.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, even though we were in her parents' home, which should be enough to stop the idea, I still would have done it if it wasn't for the fact
for sure.
that I'm looking around and I'm like, it's a small bed. I can't, every time I turn my head, there's something that's very childlike.
Right.
It's not, I mean, it was like a Hello Kitty pillow on the bed, with the other.
And it just kills it.
The whole thing was there were still stuffed animals in the room. I couldn't. I was like, this is.
I think the worst would be the pictures of
Also,
her. Even though it's your wife, but it's still, this is a child.
Right.
And there's her picture on the wall, not working for her.
I don't know. I mean, I was in my late 20s, but it's somebody that still, everyone was still, they lived there. So I guess it was a little different, but I was like, her parents were there. I was like, there's a couple times. Yeah, why not?
Well, I also at the time had a 6 and 7-year-old daughter, and their room was not too far off from this room.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, this is.
I would have a difficult time.
This is a little weird.
For sure.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
I'm going to read one more quick text here. Sadly, I think we've all been in this position, but you fight through it. And it's quick and to the point. It says, this gal was on the thick side. I was behind her. Every time I thrusted in, I would get the smell of butt. Yeah. I've been there before, man. You fight through it, but what are you going to do? Hello, Brad. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I guess happy Happy Hump Day would be a good thing to start off this one with.
Yes, it is. Very appropriate.
We're unintentionally
right. So
brilliant.
I was like, thank you. So anyway, I was like 21, and I was with this girl, and she had a kid, and we go there, and of course I brought over Arbor Miss Finest to set the mood and everything. And we get into it. Finally, kid goes to bed. Kid's like 5. We're in a room. The bed is facing. So if you're laying in the bed normal with your head in the pillow, the door, if you were to just sit upright, you're looking at the door to the room.
All right.
So she is on top of me, and we're doing that thing, and I hear something. I hear a door, and I'm thinking, that's weird, and I didn't think too much of it. And I look again because I hear something, and her little 5-year-old kid is sitting there just staring at me. Mom has no idea what's going on because she's facing the other way while she's on top. And, yeah, that was just the biggest wet noodle top ramen moment of my life.
Top ramen.
It was instant noodles to a whole new level, man. It was
Did he have questions?
horrible. Looking. No. I mean, I had a lot of questions. Actually, I don't know if I did, but the kid was just. I had questions for her. I was like, "Are you going to put him to bed? Are you going to keep going, or you should probably get off and go take care of it?"
Yeah, you got to go deal with the kid. Dad, I need
Super
you.
awkward. Super awkward. Yeah.
I woke up, man, one morning. The kid was way asleep before I got there, but he's tapping me on the shoulder. And I'm naked.
This is the next morning.
Yeah, this is the next morning. And it wasn't a trailer. And he was tapping me on the shoulder. And he said, Mister. And I said, hey, buddy. And I'd never met him before. You know, I'd never met her son before.
Right.
We hooked up a couple times. She'd always come over to my place. I knew she had a son. But, and we worked at the same place. So the kid's tapping me on the shoulder, Mister. And he's like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? And he's like, do you play video games? And I was like, I play some video games. He's like, do you want to play video games with me? It's like 7:30 in the morning. It's like, I'm hungover. It's Saturday morning. And I'm like, yeah, man, you know what? I'll get up. Just give me a second. Let me get dressed and I'll come down and I'll come down to the living room and we'll play video games. So he's sitting on the floor. He's getting his controller out. He's got the TV on. He's like, okay. He's like, what do you want to play? And I said, you pick the game you want to play. I'll play it with you. So we start playing. And by this time, she gets up. So she starts making, pancakes or whatever, bacon.
You said she hooked up a great breakfast.
Oh, she did. And I'm like, this is great, whatever. So I'm sitting there playing with the kid. He's got his PJs on. We're playing video games. We're getting into it. He goes, Mister, are you going to be my new dad? Oh, God. And I was like, oh, well, man, I'm your mommy's friend. I'll never forget that question. The sincerity of just him like, wait, are you going to be my new dad? And I was like, man, you have a dad. You have a dad, and they're like,
hell no, man.
Yeah, but are you going to be my new dad? And I was like, your new dad? I said, would you have a dad? And he said, well, no, you could be my new dad. And I said, well, let's just play video games and see how this goes.
She must have done it a lot if he was bold enough to just walk into the room.
I mean, we're 22 or 21.
No. I'm just saying, it obviously happened enough where he felt okay. So most kids wouldn't just wake you up.
Are you going to be my new dad?
Because the guy with the mustache said no.
Yeah.
The guy with the beard, he said no. And the guy with the comb over, he said maybe.
Well, he kept calling me Mister all the time. He's like, Mister. I'm like, hey, my name is Miles. I said, you can call me Miles. And then at one point in time, he says, can I call you Daddy?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. This is all the same morning.
That's a setup.
How old is that?
The
kid was like 4 or 5 years old. And I'm just like, I felt horrible because these are questions I do not know how to answer, and I do not want to break this little kid's heart, and I do not want to disappoint
challenge.
him. And so I'm trying to come up with a happy medium of things where I'm just like, oh God, and she keeps looking at me, shaking her head like, I'm sorry, and I was just like, all right, well, whatever. What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Berserka. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So I get married, and my father-in-law gives my wife a pig for a wedding present.
Well, thank you.
And,
awesome.
Yeah, it was like, well, why a pig? It's like, well, from the looks of her husband, she loves pigs. So
I'd be curious to see that on the registry. Yeah. Toaster, blender, pig.
He didn't like you very much, did he?
Exactly. So anyways, we got this miniature pig, and it's all potty trained. It lives in the house, and it's all good. We jump on my motorcycle one night. We take off. We go have some fun. Come back home. Start tearing it up in the front room. She gets on top. It's all going down like that. And she says, ow. I'm like, yeah, that's right, baby. I'm giving it to you. And she says, ow.
quit pulling my hair, you pig. I said, I'm not pulling your hair. She said, I'm not talking to you. Well, the pig had walked around and grabbed her by her big old hair. The pig's pulling her by the head while I'm pouring the coals to her.
How do you? I guess the father-in-law knew what he was doing.
Well, I told her, I said, well, two pigs is better than one.
That is a different story. So this was an actual pet pig. This wasn't like a pig that was going to grow up and be slaughtered.
Well, this is he's a miniature Vietnamese pig.
One of those tiny, hairy ones?
Well, he wasn't supposed to be, but my father-in-law's a lion pig, too, because that pig turned out to be about 250 pounds.
I was going to say, there's a difference between a little pig and a pet
and a pig.
And a pig.
Never had sex around a pig. I'm pretty confident with that one.
I don't know anyone in my lifetime that's had a pig, period. Even if they had a farm. I don't ever
really
recall.
Even a farm?
No, I don't recall anyone ever having a pig.
I had some cousins that lived outside of Pittsburgh, and one of their neighbors had a pig.
Just one?
Just one. And it was like a pet pig.
Right.
And it was smaller, right? It wasn't like a giant pig. But when we were kids, it was terribly exciting.
Well, other than
they don't have a dog, they have a pig.
They have a pig.
We got to go see that.
Other than going to like a fair where they have the competitions and stuff, I'm not sure that I've ever met anyone who owned one, had one in their house, just never had a one-on-one interaction with somebody's pig. Because I heard
Paula's got a pig.
I heard they're friendly. I heard
I believe that.
They're smart, all those things.
Heard super smart, yeah. But no, I've never actually interacted.
Like you had an interaction with a donkey. I've never had
that donkey was awesome.
I've never had an
That's
interaction.
Pokey. It has a name. Put some respect on the name. It's Pokey.
I've never had an interaction with a donkey either.
Really?
No.
I'm telling you, man, once you go donkey, you never go back.
I really haven't.
Or maybe it's just Pokey. Look, bro, I don't know how to explain it, but like Pokey was the most awesome animal.
Are you an ass man, Steve?
I'm an ass man now. I don't know. And the thing is, the guy that had the donkey also had a dog named Star. And this dog was so smart and so well trained. If you said, tell me what's going on in the NASDAQ, like somehow this dog can transcribe.
Actually, it was a terrible day today.
With the stock market, right? Exactly. And even though the dog was impressive and sweet and cool, and I did enjoy the dog, but man, Pokey just dominated. Absolutely, man. That donkey was so freaking cool.
Austin, you have a friend that had a pet turkey?
Pet turkey. Goober.
Yeah.
Goober the turkey. Yep. I know people with a pet turkey, and those things do not stop growing. The turkeys
they get huge.
They get ostrich size. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I could not believe it when he told me that was a turkey. Because when they get older, they also start to kind of like lose some of their feathers, and
they get ugly.
They don't have the same look as what you perceive to be the Thanksgiving turkey. They kind of start looking seriously like an ostrich. Like there's nothing on their necks. Their necks are completely basically clean, other than little fine little.
How
feathers.
long did he have Goober?
Goober he had for a long time, because I remember when Goober died, Robbie took 3 days off school because he was so upset about it. And yeah, that was his pet. He might have had dogs, he might have had cats, I don't know. Goober was his.
But did Goober like him? Like, did you get people to go I have a pet lizard, he likes him? It's like, no, it doesn't. It's indifferent to you because you're not a threat. So with the turkey, the turkey genuinely liked him.
The turkey was in a general area, but when Robbie would go out to ride his bicycle or ride his dirt bike or play on the property, the turkey was allowed to follow him and go everywhere he went. And the turkey would come back to the pen with Robbie when he locked him in. But he was always in the pen, but when Robbie was home and they were out on the property, that turkey was side by side with him. They went everywhere together. They really did. I mean, the turkey would go down to the bus stop, apparently, to pick him up, and then his mom would walk the turkey back to the pen. Yeah.
That's different living.
What unsexual thing distracted you during sex? 206-803.
That seems weirder than knowing somebody with a small pig.
Yeah.
It absolutely
it is.
Yeah. Hello, Brock. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, did those Jimmy shirts fit you all right?
Oh, yeah, man. I rocked it on, I believe,
Monday.
It was a Monday?
Yes.
Monday.
Yeah, you wore it.
Or maybe
I was thinking about wearing it. I was glad I didn't.
Yeah. No, dude, the shirt's awesome. But
it was Monday.
My kid did ask me. He's like, because basically it's a Sonics player and you have Hendrix's head superimposed on top of a Sonics player, right? A lot of people have seen this. My son had not seen this. So I'm in the kitchen cooking and he's just staring at me. I'm like, what's up, man? And he's like, who is that? As he's trying to figure out who this classic Sonic must have been. I'm like, that's Jimi Hendrix. I thought Jimi Hendrix played guitar. So Jimi Hendrix does play guitar. Did he also play for the Sonics? No, he did not play for the Sonics. Then why is Jimi Hendrix wearing it? And so I had to explain, like, dude, it's a picture of his head on top of a Sonic. It's a Seattle thing.
Yes.
But thank you for the shirt, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, no problem. So this story might help me clean it up a little bit. I'll start it off. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm dating this girl who's recently divorced, and she tells me her husband's a little crazy. So we're at her house, up in her bedroom. We're going at it for a few minutes. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings, and she kind of freaks out and jumps up and like, oh, my God, what the heck? So she goes downstairs to get the door. And while she's getting the door, I look down at my unit, and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh, my God, what is this? Well, while we were going at it, she grabbed my unit, and cut it with her fingernail, and I had no idea.
Oh, God. All right.
And so, after that, I was not...
No.
Not okay.
How long? Yeah, but here's the thing. Once you know it's there, all right, so I won't zip my junk in the zipper of my pants. Won't go dude, it sucks. But the worst part of it was, right, so there is a scar, there's a scab on your penis, okay? That is fine.
Yeah.
But every morning that you wake up the erection, so the problem was it would break it open again. So the healing process just takes longer. Did you have the same experience?
Oh, for sure. Totally the same. Sorry about the dog. Yeah, no, totally the same. It took at least a week to heal, and I wasn't pleasuring myself or anything for the whole week.
You can't do it, man. And that's seriously the thing. Like it's like any cut. If you have a cut on your arm and then you start squeezing it and pulling it breaks open. Well, the problem with your junk is like you have no control over what this is going to do. So you wake up in the morning, there's blood in your bed. You know where it's coming from, but then it's like sticking to your underwear because the blood is dried, and you're like, this sucks. And I was convinced, I was maybe 22 when this happened. I was convinced that it would never heal. You know, just based on the anatomy. I'm like, oh my God. So for like the first 4 days in a row, the blood got a little less. But you wake up and I'm like, oh my God, my underwear is stuck to my junk again. So you got to rip it off. And I'm like, and again, that's when I stopped going commando. And that's the moment. And I've never looked back, man.
It was a chick, man, growing up that was absolutely one of the top 3 most beautiful women in the entire town. Town's about 50,000 people. With students, maybe 60,000, 70,000 people. Either way, she was just an absolute smoke show. She went to a different high school. Every single guy knew her name. Yeah. And they knew exactly who she was. She was dating this Italian dude who boxed. And he'd been boxing, I guess, most of his younger life, which was kind of unusual, but he got really good. He was 17, 18 years old. His dad sent him to Pittsburgh to train in the gym, blah, 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 blah. They ended up having a kid when, I guess they're probably about 18 years old. So then there's not a lot of gyms in the area or training facilities or anything like that. So his dad basically got him a summertime job in Philadelphia, and he was supposed to train at this gym in Philadelphia. This was the kid who was in the paper all the time. Like, he would go and fight different places. Yeah. It was always reported on how he did. He was undefeated. He was a middleweight. He was just an absolute ass kicker. And he, I guess, either got a girl pregnant in Philadelphia or started dating someone else or whatever. Anyway, it gets back to the girlfriend in Morgantown where I live. And she broke up with him, even though they had a child together. Sure. They were not married. But she was then, on the market. But then after the summer, he was back in town. And he was always around. And, it was just one of those things where
I would like to flirt with you.
I would love to ask you out. Yeah. Back to the ex, it's a little bit crazy. Not that I had a chance, but every single guy basically had the same thing going through his head. Like, I am not even thinking about that. I'm not even getting near that. Right. That is dangerous. I do not want to touch that. I do not want to be around it because he will kick your ass.
And you know he will.
Yeah. And back then, you did not go to jail for kicking someone's ass.
No, not for stuff like that.
You kicked unless you killed them, unless you used a weapon and opened their head up. If you just beat someone's ass, you just took an ass beating. And that was to be expected. You would never go to the cops and say, I was assaulted in a bar.
No, I don't even know when that started. But right. That said, did anyone ever date, as far as you know?
Not that I know of. I mean,
probably not in that town.
No. I mean, not that anyone that I knew. But you wanted to. Even though she had a kid. Even of all these things. You're still like, oh, man, if I could. But if he found out.
That's the end of it.
That's the last thing you wanted, man. Have that guy open up a can of whoop ass on you. Return of Who Sucks Less coming up, and we got your emails on the way from the men's room at KISW.com next.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for Seattle businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a Seattle business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic. With 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors: pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. Made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
You've had nugs dipped in sauce, but have you ever had nugs covered in sauce? Enter Wendy's new Saucy Nugs. 7 saucy ways to enjoy the nugs you love. With flavors from buffalo to honey barbecue, garlic parm to spicy ghost pepper. No matter what flavor you're craving, Wendy's has you covered. With nugs covered in sauce. For a whole new way to nug, try Wendy's new Saucy Nugs today. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for Seattle businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a Seattle business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Coastal Farm and Ranch. We're just what the country needs.
On July 24th through the 28th, it's buy 2, get 1 free on Country Companion Feed, buy 3, get 1 free on Sunglow Show Feed, and buy 3, get 1 free on large bags of Purina Feed.
Coastal Farm and Ranch. We're just what the country needs.
Get more feed for less this week at your local Coastal.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Who Sucks Less is on the way, but first time for a few emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
And a couple from our question, what unsexual thing distracted you during sex? Guys, I was in the throes of passion when I looked up and saw her tiny little rat dog looking to my soul. I almost immediately started laughing and went limp. Luckily, she started laughing too, and it did not get completely ruined, the time at least. That from Emmett, the big rig mechanic. Guys, years ago, I was with my ex-boyfriend at our apartment, and I was doing the work. As things were in motion, my nose decided to run because I was on top, and before I realized I could do anything to stop it, a booger fell from my nostril and landed in my partner's nostril. So it goes in one, and then goes out the other, goes in the other. I was mortified and could not stop to see if he was disgusted, but he was getting close to the end, so he told me just to keep going. I could not understand how 1 in a million that would happen. Good riddance, though. He's an ex for a reason, so I don't feel that bad. Happy Wednesday, guys. That from the lovely Elizabeth. As we move on to the birthday request, Ola Bacholas, today is my buddy Brett's 56th trip around the sun. Could he get some turtle sex? And your penis is too small. Thanks, fellas, and love the brand new Men's Room IPA from Black Raven. That from Ryan.
Nice.
Good morning, distinguished gentlemen.
Good morning.
Please wish my mom, Debbie Ross, a very happy 70th birthday. She is all the way in the motherland of Arkansas, where we could sure use a good season of college football and basketball. So if we could we get Coach Ted firing her up about the new season in her life after being free of the 9-fingered man who didn't fart? And maybe some inspirational advice in the accent of his Miles, West Virginia grandpa. Those wrestlers just talk and talk. Sincerely appreciate the work you guys put in. You've been making me laugh and lifting my spirits for a long time now. Debbie was only 53 when I started listening to your show. Lots of love. That from West Seattle, Josh.
All right, first of all, Josh, good news for your entire family. Coach Calipari's down there in Arkansas now. Basketball program should be turning around, considering he got rid of the entire team, and he was already skirting the rules a little bit, and NIL is legal. What was his mom's name? I know her name. Hey, honey, listen, welcome back to the market.
Wrestling. All they do is talk and talk and talk. No wrestling. I know you didn't ask for it there, Debbie, but I'm going to give you some West Virginia dad jokes.
Jesus, that sounds terrible.
It is.
It's very loaded.
Mm-hmm. Guys, a guy from West Virginia passed away and left his entire estate to his beloved widow. But she's not allowed to touch it until she's 14. A West Virginia state trooper pulls over a pickup on I-64 and says to the driver, "Got any ID?" Driver replies, "About what?" And one more. A West Virginia man spoke frantically into the phone. "My wife is pregnant, and her contractions are only 2 minutes apart." The operator says, "Is this her first child?" "No," the man shouted. "This is her husband." All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you. We'll have a couple extra emails here. The subject, clinging noise. I don't know if Thriller or whoever got a new necklace of some sort of jewelry, or maybe he got a new microphone, or maybe it's not even him. But it seems like every time he gets on the mic the last few days, I can hear clinging noises that sound like metal on metal. Aha, it is you.
Yes, it is me.
I didn't notice.
It's my nipple rings.
Oh, right.
My nipples are very close together. They keep in.
This one says, "Ted,
what up?
Can you please tell me or direct me where to find your sausage dip? I'll even call it the Ted Smith's world-famous sausage dip when I make it. Thanks, guys." That from Jamie.
Was that from like a week or two ago?
It was, yes. Yeah. Extra emails we're trying to catch up on. Yeah.
I emailed Jamie back. I don't know if it's a dude or a woman.
Okay. But you did give the recipe?
Yeah.
Right.
No worries.
Okay.
Or listen in December. I'll give it out again. Honestly, Jesus Christ, just look at a can of Rotel, folks.
Rotel?
Yeah.
What is Rotel?
That's the tomato sauce?
Like chilies and tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Subject, TV time, The Boys. Ola Bacholas, when watching The Boys, if you use the X-ray button on Amazon in the top left, it narrates with hilarious insights and backstories while the show plays. Other shows may be doing this too. I don't know. I just found about it that The Boys does. The masses should know about this. I'm counting on you, Ted. We all are. That from MJ KISW.
I have Amazon. I was unaware that there was an
Yeah, me
X-ray
too.
button.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I mean, seriously, it said upper left-hand corner. I'm just going to put on the show tonight to see if I see it.
I got to catch up on one from this season. It's been a great season of the boys. That's a fact.
You won tonight.
Subject my face. Guys, I listen to you guys out here in North Carolina on the podcast. I'm always a few days behind, but the July 2nd segment about what happened to your face. So the week of my wedding, I was outside in our yard using a log splitter to split logs into firewood when one of the pieces flew out of the machine and hit my right eye, or hit me right above my left eye. Now, I hadn't been hit that hard in years. It was to the point where I was wobbly on my feet. I was literally seeing stars. Well, once the dazed state wore off, my first thought was, my fiancé is going to kill me. I knew I was going to be a black eye, maybe two at least, and just in time for the wedding photos. Well, not one, but both eyes were blackened. I had a large abrasion, road rash area all down my nose. It was not subtle. Well, I had to have makeup applied prior to the ceremony, of which my buddies have yet to stop giving me crap about over a year later. Wife wasn't as mad as I thought she'd be, but she definitely was annoyed after learning that I was okay. Anyway, love the show. I work a typically boring job overnights and have a fairly long commute each way, so the show was always playing either at my desk or in my car. Thanks for keeping me awake, and keep it on laughing. All right, we have a few updates on the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewing. Keep in mind, the flock party at Black Raven Woodinville Brewery is this Saturday at noon. All ages, absolutely free. There will be food trucks. There will be Men's Room beer brats from Uli's Famous Sausage. They have some specialty beers that they have brewed just for the flock party.
I'll try them all.
Their entire lineup is going to be there for you. They've got a lot of great beers if you're interested. Again, it's absolutely free, and 3 or 4 bands are taking the stage. So it's a nice little festival, and again, you can take your entire family. Some locations elsewhere where you can find the Men's Room IPA at Eco Gas in Arlington. The Ording Food Market is carrying the Men's Room IPA. The Ravensdale Market, Safeway Grocery, the Tremont Market, the Friendly Normandy Market, 47th Avenue Market and Gas, Capalson Gas and Grocer, Carroll's Corner at the Mullinex Market at 16. Pioneer Gas in Arlington, the Safeway on Shaw Road, the River Rock Tobacco and Fuel Stop, Seahurst Handy Mart, the Black Lake Grocer, Valley Tavern, Little Rock Grocer, Chevron in South Tacoma, Marysville Liquor and Wine, Highland 76. Also available at the Grove Street Food Market, the Boulevard Grocer, Props in Ernst, Grocery Outlet 127 in Burien, the Shortstop Chevron, Sid's Handy Mart.
Yes, Sid.
The Safeway in Arlington,
Get it,
Everett, the Safeway in North Bend, the Safeway in Panther Lake, the Safeway in Graham, on South Meridian, Sedgwick, and Everett. Also available at the Albertsons in Marysville, Odom Samples in Everett, the 24 East Hill Market, and Chuck Chevron in Service.
Chuck.
Rockridge Orchards and Cidery, Foss Grocer, and the Food Market at Key Center. Just a few of the locations currently carrying the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven. Complete list is at KISW.com, or what we have to be a complete list. And keep in mind, if all else fails, just look for the bright yellow can.
Although we did discover earlier today, just as a courtesy to all the listeners, we say look for the bright yellow can. However, if you were colorblind, it will appear violet or teal. I actually took time to look it up today, because we keep saying the bright yellow can. They're grabbing the wrong beer, man.
Okay.
You know, in our case, you want violet or teal or gray.
Well, hopefully you can also read.
Thank you, Miles. I was about to say, I mean, I wouldn't say.
What if you're illiterate and colorblind? I'm doing a service for that segment of our listenership.
Just give up.
Yeah. Coming up,
just drink any beer at that point.
Right, like at that point, do you care? You need to be drunk.
Just do drugs.
Coming up, we will drink
How do you have
toast
money?
with a shot of the day. But first,
Now,
colorblind.
the Men's Room wants to know who sucks less.
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories out of the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, and Miles, you asked at the top of the show, hey, how is this week's Who Sucks Less? Well, I mean, it is called Who Sucks Less for a reason. These people are not awesome, and like I said, it does not involve the Navy, but it does involve seamen. We will start with a story that I believe I believe, Mike, you brought this up in headlines late last week, early this week. Either way, we take you to Philadelphia, where not just the cops, but Meek Mill, they're searching for the man that masturbated on a woman's leg in a Dollar Tree store. Like, things aren't bad enough, and then this happens. But there's new footage that actually captures the aftermath. So the video was posted on X and apparently recorded by the victim. And in it, we see her chasing a man out of the store while yelling to everyone that he had ejaculated onto her leg while she was shopping before he turned tail and made a speedy exit.
What's that quote?
I'm going to do my best to clean this quote.
No, you're not. You can't, man. You can't do it.
As the guy flees the store, the woman is heard yelling, and it's all in the video, and she is clearly upset.
No!
All right. So I'm just going to use the word ejaculated. Okay. That's the clinical term, but that's not what she said. But he effing ejaculated on my effing leg. You go to hell, bitch. That is a quote from her to the guy. Now, as he escapes, the woman then shows what appears to be semen on her calf while sobbing loudly just outside of the store. They add that another person did walk over to her to try to comfort her, although I imagine they kept their distance. Now, CBS News reports that store employees, they told investigators where the man hangs out, and cops have since released photos from the surveillance video of the man that they believe is responsible. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to perform a DNA test to make the connection. Mm-hmm. But the pics, they show the man in a shirt adorned with a candy cane, okay? And then the shirt itself reads, quote, "It's not going to lick itself." In detail, this seems pretty disturbing considering the accusation against him. Anyway, Meek Mill also got involved with a post saying, quote, "Let's play manhunt." And he offered a $2,000 reward for info on the suspect. Of course, the police would also like your help to identify this guy. And they found him. I was going to say, the store employees are familiar with this guy. I don't know if this is his M.O. or if he's just someone they're familiar with. But yeah, I'm not sure what you get charged with, but it's not going to be awesome. All right, are you guys familiar with Danny Elfman?
Danny Elfman.
Now, he is the guy.
Heard the name.
All right, so he is a music composer. He's the guy that does the Simpsons theme. He's the guy that does the theme to almost every single Tim Burton movie that's out there. He's the former lead singer of Oingo Boingo. This guy's been around for a long time.
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, and he makes a lot of money doing movie soundtracks for the most part. But like I said, the Simpsons are one that most people know. If you like Tim Burton, you know his crap.
Or he was the singer of the band in Back to School, the Halloween party.
Was that Oingo Boingo?
Yep. Dead Man's Party.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the main reason I know that song is because of that movie.
All right, well, that's it.
And that's the only song most people know.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the guy. Well, he's being sued by a woman who accused him of serving her a martini glass filled with semen. And she says it's public. Yeah, don't ask me how. This is just the situation. A martini glass full of semen. That is what they say. So she says his public denial paints her as a liar, but she insists that it actually happened. So according to a new lawsuit... Well played. According to the new lawsuit, Nomi Abadi, she's suing Elfman for defamation. She says he lied about her in a Rolling Stone article where he and his reps denied that he engaged in sexual misconduct toward her. But in the suit, Nomi says that Danny invited her over to the studio back in August of 2016 and placed a martini glass filled with an off-white substance in front of her. She says she sat in silence, terrified, gagging from the, quote, putrid smell coming from the semen ejaculate. That is how it's written. I'm sorry you just took a sip of your drink as I was saying that, Miles. Danny, again, the lead singer of Oingo Boingo, he denied the martini claim in a July 2003 Rolling Stone article about him. And the reason they were doing the article, because the article was about him settling a sexual harassment allegation from Nomi for $830,000. But his rep told the magazine that the substance in the martini glass was moisturizing cream, specifically Cetaphil, I believe is what you say.
I don't use it.
Look, why would you serve someone that in a martini glass?
Why would you put semen in a martini? Like, neither one is great, but either way, that's what they're insisting.
Cetaphil?
Yeah. Should be Cetaphil. But in the suit, Nomi says Danny denying her claims that he masturbated in front of her multiple times and touched her inappropriately amounts to defamation. So she says those things absolutely did happen, and she says he is lying about it and hurt her career and caused her health to suffer. Anyway, she's going after Danny for damages. So there's story number one, you go to a Dollar Tree, a man ejaculates on you. Story number two, a well-known music producer just gives you a martini glass that's full of the stuff. And now we have a follow-up story. A man who had multiple sexual relations with a female co-worker's water bottle which the co-worker unassumingly drank from, was ordered to spend 180 days in jail over his disgusting habit. So along with a half a year in a big house, an Orange County judge also sentenced Michael Lalana to 3 years probation and ordered him to register as a sex offender. Now, Lalana told him that first he denied that he did it, but eventually he came clean about it, no pun intended. But Lalana told investigators he made his secret man deposits into the co-worker's water bottle because, and I quote, "It's the closest I could ever get to someone as good looking as that without tampering with my marriage or hurting anyone." That's his quote. That was his excuse. But anyway, as a result of doing that,
it's for his marriage.
Yeah, for his marriage.
Yeah.
That's why.
Keep the sanctity.
Yeah, so he got sentenced to 180 days in jail, which frankly seems like kind of a light sentence considering the fact she did consume water out of that bottle over the period of time that he did it, and he did it more than once. So my opinion, he got off light.
My opinion is he sucks the most out of this one. Out of the 3 stories, I'm going to say the guy in California who did that, she did not know that he was doing that. It happened multiple times.
She had no idea.
And she ingested
She started getting
the water.
suspicious, and I want to say they set up like the webcam kind of thing, and because she started getting suspicious, as you might imagine, no one in the office is going to cop to doing such a thing, but they ended up catching him on video, and they're like, look, that's you, this is what you're doing.
How did Elfman get that much?
See, one of the things with Danny Elfman, because he's the martini glass guy, but she pointed out that it had a putrid smell, blah, blah, blah. That tells me it's something you've been collecting over time, which would explain the rancid smell, right?
Yeah, that just, I don't care who you are. Nobody produces that much.
Now, I don't know if the martini glass was full. She just said it was a martini glass, but in it was, as she said, semen.
Look, obviously she did not ingest this like the other woman did. But he's also being accused of other things which are disturbing.
Yes.
But she also chose to be in his presence, either with that maybe she didn't, it was a work thing or whatever the deal is.
I don't know.
She's a composer as well.
Okay. So she had to be around him, I guess, in a work situation to some degree. Oh, man. I mean, between Elfman and the Philadelphia dude.
For me, I'm going to say Elfman sucks the least. I look, there's nothing about him that I agree with.
Yeah.
Because nothing made contact.
Right. The woman in Philly, that dude got there on her leg. So she has that on her leg. That's got to be traumatizing.
Yep.
And then the guy in California, that woman actually drank some of it. So, like, there's other stuff with Elfman that's horrible or accused of, allegedly.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. She got out of there. She didn't ingest it. So I feel like that one, to me, is an easy, like, that one sucks the least.
And don't you feel weird saying it?
Yeah, also, like, I don't know.
To me, contact is the only difference in all of this, right? Because in a way, I feel like he sucks the most. But in this particular situation, because it seems more habitual with him, and I doubt that she's the only chick that he tried to pull this thing off, right?
Right, plus, like, he's the lead singer of Oingo Boingo. Mm-hmm. He does scores for, all those
Tim Burton
movies. Like, I'm not shocked. He's kind of a weirdo and a creep.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah, it's not like Johnny Depp has a great reputation.
He just happened to be with a woman who poops in his bed. So,
yeah.
You suck least in that situation.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The shot of the day is coming up. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to a trip you'll never forget in Denver, where summer sunshine sparks mountain adventure, where neighborhood strolls lift spirits sky high, and where music takes center stage at Red Rocks. Catch a baseball game at Coors Field, step into new dimensions at Meow Wolf, and take flavor to the next level under the stars at a Michelin restaurant. Denver, always welcome. Plan your trip at visitdenver.com/summer.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up, we'll drink your toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. A new study from the Institute for Systems Biology here in Seattle found the optimal number of bowel movements one should have every day. 1 to 2.
1 to 2?
1 to 2.
All right.
Basically, the bacteria that is in your bowels that feeds on everything that's going on down there, kind of keeping everything moving 1 to 2 times a day, doesn't overload them and doesn't starve them.
Okay.
So it's kind of their optimal feeding, if you will. Just kind of keeping that microbiome looking good. Side note, the Institute for Systems Biology missed the opportunity to name themselves the Institute for Biology Systems and be IBS, as far as if they're going to be searching for how many bowel movements they should be having in a day. 1 to 2.
How many do you have a day, Mike?
Honestly, I'm about 1 a day.
Really? 1 a day?
1 a day.
Probably about 3. Definitely in the morning.
All right.
I'm on 3 right now, probably 4 or 5.
There are times that I don't know if I fully counted.
What do you mean?
Usually it's like, right, the morning time, and then, like if I've gone out the night before or something, my stomach's a little upset, then that would be multiple, but I'm with you. It's usually 1 or 2 a day.
Right. And there are times when I will have my movement and I'm not satisfied.
All right.
And then I'll go in, just basically get the cap, and then we're all good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I count as 1.
So Mike had a beaut this morning, boys.
Yeah, he did.
A beaut?
A beautiful one.
It'd just be perfect.
Yeah. Was already halfway down the drain, little cleanup, and I was fired up.
Yeah.
Told Mike twice already.
There are those moments you're like, man, just as far as turds go, this is what a turd should look like.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, starting off strong.
That's right. A new study.
Honestly, I was just like, oh, I'm barely half the white. This is great.
Right. Which means in another universe, one of you's got the crayon. That's the whole thing. Have you not heard that saying, Ted?
No.
If you got a no wiper, that means in an alternate universe you have a crayon that you can't get rid of it. And conversely, if you got the crayon that you can't get rid of, that means that you in an alternate universe got the no wiper.
All right,
yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that.
You take the cleanup of another one.
We're living in the multiverse.
That's right. You take the cleanup of another. A new study suggests doing short bursts of exercise at night could actually help you sleep better. So normal studies would tell you, like, don't work out at night. It's going to keep you up, blah, 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 blah. So they're not saying to exercise at night. They're saying to just do a few push-ups during a commercial break.
All right.
Something like that. Just short bursts. And it actually, it helps keep you healthier and it helps you sleep better.
Okay.
You know, you get a lot of pent-up energy there at the end of the night. It's like, run it out real quick. Call it good. AI has
helped the football player. Was it Herschel Walker?
Herschel Walker. That
Right,
was
like,
it.
see, I don't know if you ever Herschel Walker's an amazing athlete, amazing football player. He did MMA for a while, but he also was just always massive and shredded. But that was his thing. He didn't really lift weights. He did push-ups and sit-ups, like in commercial breaks and this and that. And he did, I want to say he did like 2,000 a day or just something insane.
It was crazy.
But that's what he did.
Because they asked him, like, you lift weight? Because his physique was ridiculous, right?
I mean, I bet today he's got to be probably, 50-something, almost 60. I bet he's still shredded.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah,
He doesn't go to the gym. He just does push-ups and sit-ups.
I mean, he might now, but when he was younger, I mean, it's a guy, like, seriously, this guy was a beast coming out of college. And when they asked him about that, like, he's, dude, push-ups, sit-ups. That's it. Wasn't hitting weights, nothing like that.
Huh. Well, all right, then. AI has helped doctors uncover 3 new types of Parkinson's.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Does that mean they're just identifying different forms that people already have, or look out, there's more coming?
No, they're inventing new ones.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, man. I'm not working on it. I'm guessing that they're just different types that they're able to identify and put under the umbrella of Parkinson's.
Okay. Yeah.
Yay, that's what we needed.
Well, yeah, there you go. You did, right, like at least 1,500, if not 2,000 a day, and like 1,000 chin-ups.
Good God.
So, I mean, if you could do it, yeah.
Let's get it done. Not that it's any of our business, but we see people with tattoos basically in our everyday life. At some point in your life,
right, baby.
not necessarily the same people, but you see people that are walking down the street and you might catch
tattoos everywhere.
Right, you catch a tattoo in the corner of your eye there. And again, not that it's any of our business, but sometimes we kind of secretly judge the people as far as the originality or what the symbolism of it might be. And sometimes you find that one that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And you know who definitely does? Tattoo artists, and they're kind of done with your crap.
Oh, all right.
The Men's Top 10. 10 overly requested tattoo designs that tattoo artists are sick and tired of. The earliest known body adorned with ink is 5,300 years old and is affectionately known as Ötzi the Iceman. The frozen mummy was excavated near the Italy-Austria border. With a name like Ötzi the Iceman, you just know he sold delicious gelato in the shimmery Italian countryside. Or he had a tattoo of an arrow pointing down saying this way to a good time because he was in porn.
Good job, Ötzi.
That's what they call it. It's a nickname.
And I'm going to preface this by saying the main issue that a lot of these tattoo artists have is basically on the originality of these tattoos.
Sure.
But people get them because they enjoy the way that they look. It's the design that they want. It makes them feel good about themselves. So to each their own. This is our own opinion that has nothing to do with you. So don't let this sway your decision whatsoever. But these are overly requested tattoo designs that tattoo artists are tired of hearing. These are actually testimonials from themselves. This one says, my tattoo artist friend says pocket watches surrounded by roses.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I've seen that a lot.
And I feel like it's almost symbolic of things, but yeah, it's clocks, it's watches.
If you're in the tattoo culture, not you have a tattoo, but if you're in the culture, just certain tattoos, you understand what it represents. What they're telling you. They're telegraphing you what they're interested in. What kind of person they are, right? So if you have all that kind of thing going on, I'm guessing steampunk, deep into the comic book thing, et cetera, et cetera. And you know it just by looking. I mean, it's a language. I mean, so you can look and you kind of get an idea.
Is that like an Ed Hardy thing? I feel like whenever there's flowers and stuff, it's like...
Now, flowers, man, I mean, whether it's Japanese tattoo art, the U.S. tattoo art, Chinese tattoo art, with the exception of Russia, maybe, flowers are in everybody's thing. So in the States, we use a lot of roses. They use a lot of, what is it called in Japan?
Orchids?
You'll see some orchids, cherry blossoms, and lotuses. Lotuses are massive, yeah.
There's a guy that works at a store near my house, and he has a massive cherry blossom tattoo that kind of goes up his back, almost on his bald head. It looks awesome. There was a cherry blossom in my yard when I grew up. But he's Asian, and I'm afraid to ask.
He might be the guy to ask. Because cherry blossom, I mean, look, in Asian culture, and if you look at a lot of Asian tattoos, like I said, where we have I got roses on my back, right? I also have cherry blossoms up here because my wife and I met in D.C. That's a personal thing, right? But anyway, that said, what roses are to the States, cherry blossoms would be to Japanese tattoo art.
All right. This one says, my grandpa is an artist, and he said, quote, butterflies on an obese person's lower back. I can tell you how many of those efforts I drawn over stretch marks. Yikes.
Oh, wow.
Harsh.
I hate to comment on that, but yeah, he's kind of, now I'm thinking back, like, people of a more rotund carriage just seems like butterflies are the friend.
Man, I sat behind somebody in college. There was a full-on mural back there. It did not look good.
Here's another reason I don't have tattoos. I didn't grow up with a cherry blossom in my yard. We had a crepe myrtle.
That's a beautiful tree.
Just couldn't find it.
I've been thinking about asking that guy, see him like once a week for months now. Be like, I grew up with one. That's a lie.
But the news is you can buy any color flower on that you want.
Yeah,
so
nobody gets
myrtle,
mad.
you can get red, blue, white, pink.
Nice.
I mean, you can just pick them because I had two in my yard that look identical and they bloom, and you're like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, man. Tattoos that artists are tired of making. Snake coming out of the eye of a skull. This is one is the guy who always wants his tattoo always have a perfectly groomed goatee.
Because they're the better guy.
That's
You
pretty
know
good.
what?
Oh, God. Ask my buddy. He said, quote, if I have to do another doggone Latin paragraph on a chick's ribs, I'm going to shoot my brains out.
That time will pass, bro. It's like
Daddy.
short-ass jeans. That's definitely a sign of the times of a tattoo. Like, I can guess how old you were and roughly what year it was when you got that.
It's the new tramp stamp.
Yeah, basically.
Like a lot of women my age have tramp stamps, which, ladies, I still find them.
Yeah, that was
super
our
sexy.
generation, sure.
Right. And then Megan Fox, I remember years ago, she was the first woman I saw with that cursive on her side. We know now she's a little insane. But, like, that became the new thing. I know so many people that have something written on the side of their ribs.
I'll tell you what it should say. I have both of my ribs done. It should say, this effing hurt.
Oh.
Dude, ribs suck to get
What do you got
tattooed.
written in Latin on yours?
Nothing.
No Latin?
I know.
Not a tattoo artist, but so many people I've seen get the mustache on the inside of your pointer finger.
Yeah.
I still think that's funny. though.
Me too.
Right? I mean,
It's like pull my finger.
yeah. Which I still do, actually.
I don't know. It annoys me.
Really?
Because I went to high school with a bunch of kids that would draw it in pen on their stupid-ass fingers, and then they were smudged all over the place. Yeah.
I still find it kind of funny, but I can imagine if I was a tattoo artist, I'd be like, all right, enough.
All right, I'm over it.
I think part of the reason I hate doing that, too, honest to God, because it's ain't a lot of money in it. You still have to use your ink and do all the setup for this thing that takes 5 minutes.
Overly requested tattoo designs that artists are sick and tired of. It's an anchor. What does it symbolize, Ted?
You were in the Navy.
I can't be held down.
Oh.
It used to mean you were in the Navy.
To me, an anchor would be the opposite.
Because it's an anchor.
Right,
if it's on you, you're being held down, stupid.
Right, that is specifically what an anchor does. That is its entire purpose.
Right, like anchor baby.
Yeah. You ever heard of the term?
No, I've not.
Maybe the marriage isn't going so hot. You have one more kid. Make sure that everybody sticks around.
Right. Gotcha. That one will solve it.
Yeah, I mean, there's other terms for it.
Yeah,
But
there's other, but that's probably the kindest
I
one.
have a friend whose his wife does well. She is fetching on the eyes. We blamed him for the last one. We're like, oh, you anchor baby her. Also, yeah, like, I don't know. Anchor is just like, oh, I guess I'm married. Ball and chain. I'm anchored down.
Actually, I know someone, the couple, they both have an anchor on the ring finger.
Nice.
See?
And I'm like, that seems upbeat.
Basically anything from Pinterest, bird silhouettes, live, laugh, love, infinity symbols. Yeah, they're tired of those. And again, if you get it, if you like it, it looks good on you, fine, go ahead and do it. You're not creative. It's okay. Don't pretend you are.
And take it down in your living room, too.
Yeah, and they do it every day.
I think that's
Right.
part of the reason why, like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
need
this
something.
again.
It says, tattoo artist from Alabama here. I am not religious at all, but I think I've scribed the entire Bible on human flesh at this point.
Yeah,
Which I can believe.
The praying hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one, too.
Culturally, like, if you go to Mexico, it is praying hands.
Oh, sure.
But they're also actually religious. So you go, like, like it literally means something.
How many Virgin Marys, too?
A ton of Virgin Marys, but man, I'll tell you what, the Virgin Mary tattoos that I see when I'm in Mexico blow away your mind. I mean, there's such a reverence for Catholicism down there. It's not like we do it here, man, like legitimately. But the artwork that goes into it is crazy because it's like all the sun rays coming off over and all that. So even if Mary looks a little like a dude named Chico that you met in third grade, everything around her is spectacular stuff.
I worked as a manager for a little bit. My boss, the head artist, was getting super burnt out on big cats, specifically lions, wearing crowns.
Yep.
In a month, he'd done 5 realistic lions wearing crowns on dudes that wanted to feel like the kings.
Definitely a cultural thing, man.
That's
like a black culture for sure.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. Make no mistake about
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
So say, like, I think I know two dudes with that tattoo.
Black culture dude, lying with the crown on the head. That's a massive thing.
It is a tough look.
Because typically it's not some guy built like me. Like the guy that typically has that, you're like, I would never F with this dude, whether he had that tattoo or not.
Yeah. Overly requested tattoo designs that artists are sick and tired of. If I have to tattoo the entire Declaration of Independence on one more fat dude's back, I'm going to scream. God, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
It is. I've seen it.
You still don't know it and still haven't read it.
Right. You still have no idea what it says.
Well, it's because you can't read reverse.
It's like the zit in the middle of your back. You don't know it's there until you lean back on a chair.
That's right.
Man, I don't know about that one. I'm just like, Jesus.
Friend of a friend got so tired of doing barcodes on people's necks. Side note, what? That he made a game of using the silliest products as references, where the customers to scan the tattoo, he'd read sanitary products, a bag of nuts, mashed potatoes, spotted dick.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then the number one.
I will say the barcodes, I still think they look cool.
Sure. You know what? I would use it for something that I regularly get. You know, if I'm going to get a beer or something like that, get the barcode.
Yeah, I don't know. When I see them, I'll be I'm like, that's a cool tattoo.
Oh, you know what would be cool, too? Produce codes.
Mm-hmm. Or something to rickroll somebody.
Like the QC code or something.
Exactly.
No,
QR
not the
code.
the QR code to rickroll somebody, but like if I'm getting produce at the store, like I know bananas are like, okay, 4011 right there.
Right.
Just so I can type it in.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep looking at it.
I think I'm buying peanuts. It's actually cashews. But I changed the numbers.
She's the numbers. And then the number one overly requested tattoo design that tattoo artists are sick and tired of. Steve, what is the number one rule when it comes to getting something tattooed on yourself, especially if you're in a relationship?
Do not listen to me, man. If they are dead, if it's in memoriam, get a name. Do not tattoo a name in a relation. If it's your kids or your parents, cool. If it is romantic, do not do it.
I hate when couples get each other's names tattooed on each other's arm and crap, because then like 2 weeks later they come back for a cover up because they broke up. It drives me up a wall.
I still think we should do it for marriage, though.
What's that?
And make a real commitment. Get a tattoo of her, and she gets a tattoo of you.
That's right.
Face.
That's right. Get the full face in there.
On your thigh.
Miles up in the ante.
Because you think it's going to be sexy. Oh, God.
Surprise.
Is that Doug?
Who's Betty?
Here she is.
Crocker.
A herd of sheep in Greece started acting strange, but locals think they might have figured out what it was there, Miles.
What would they figure out there, Mike?
All about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to contest online for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic, with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime, made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
It's time to dust off your glove, grab your bat, and hit the road for some baseball. But before you head to the game, make sure your ride is in top shape. At Axton Automotive, our skilled mechanics ensure your vehicle is running smoothly so you can focus on cheering for your team. Don't strike out this spring. Get your car ready for baseball season. Visit AxtonAutomotive.com or call 360-685-7976.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hi, and welcome to IKEA. How can I help?
Oh, my schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
Maybe it's time to embrace the joy of staying in. With comfortable beds, pillow and decor, mood lighting, and so much more, you can turn your bedroom into the place to be.
Oh, sounds like a dream.
We've got you. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create your dream bedroom today.
At Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, every journey is unique. But they all have the same destination. Ability. Choose the #1 rehabilitation hospital. Choose Shirley Ryan Ability Lab.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. By the way, a text came in and says, I've seen someone that had that Rick Roll QR code, and they got me with it. At least that spreads joy and fun. Like, that's just funny. Today, we toast 59-year-old Ravindran Nair of Kerala, India. And yes, there's a good chance I mispronounced all of that, but work with me. So this past Saturday, Ravindran, he had a doctor's appointment scheduled for noon. It took 42 hours for him to see the doctor. So you're asking yourself, if you have an appointment, how does it take 42 hours to see a doctor when it's a scheduled appointment? Well, in Ravindran's case, he got to the elevator at the doctor's office, but was unable to exit the elevator after it got stuck between the first and second floor. So he called the emergency number that's provided inside, but no one answered. Nothing to worry about. He then rang the alarm bell, but seemingly no one heard. So he pulled out a cell phone to make a call, but because the universe was having a good day with him, he then dropped his phone and his phone broke. Then the lights went out. As he says, he used one corner of a pitch black elevator to sleep, the other corner to pee and poop. Now, keep in mind, he has a family, so the family, they filed a missing person report, leading to a search of the hospital, and they still did not find him. It wasn't until 6 a.m. Monday morning when an elevator operator arrived at work that Ravindran was found, and wouldn't you know it, he needed medical attention.
I bet he did.
Yeah. He was in there for 42 hours. He said there was no light. And after he dropped his phone, he did not know if it was day or night. You start losing track of how long you've been there. He was convinced he was going to die there. Like I said, the emergency phone, no one picks it up. The emergency button doesn't ring. Cell phone broken. He could hear the cops outside looking for him. They still can't hear him. They can't find him. He said he's banging on the elevator door. Finally, they open the door. Elevator operator's like, my God, man, are you okay? He's like, no.
I'm not. No.
But
actually, I'm not.
Yeah, I feel bad for that guy. So we pour this booze, a little bit. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrill Hill to police everyone. Now, Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. All right, today you three gentlemen are competing against one another. Okay. Yay. That said, we do have three categories for you. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Yeah. Animals.
All right, this happened this past April when an animal named Viola, she escaped from a circus in Butte, Montana. Now, Viola belongs to the Carson and Barnes Circus and was in Butte performing with the Jordan World Circus. Now, according to news reports, she wandered through traffic in front of a casino, paused on a residential lawn. Videos show handlers chasing and then corralling Viola in a busy downtown, capturing her and bringing her back to the circus. Now, whatever taste of freedom Viola experienced, it was quickly put to an end. Keep in mind, this is not the first time Viola has tried to escape. Back in 2014, Viola sustained lacerations when she and two other animals escaped from handlers during a show and exited into a parking lot. And in 2010, she fled a circus when it was in Virginia and sustained injuries when she slid in the mud and tumbled down a hill. So she might be clumsy, but she keeps making a break for it. The question is, what kind of animal is Viola? Is she a monkey? Is she an elephant? Is she a lion? Or is she a bear? So monkey, elephant, lion, or bear. What kind of animal is Viola who keeps making a break for it, trying to get out of the circus?
I mean, it's Montana.
Well, it's a traveling circus. She just happened to escape, well, this time in Montana, somewhere else before that in Virginia the first time.
Huh.
Wow.
I just think clumsy, continues to try to, has a desire to escape the circus. I'm leaning either bear or elephant on this one.
I'm leaning elephant.
Elephant?
So just because, I feel like an elephant, A, is massive and could step over a fence, or B, just kind of ram it.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll kind of go with the same error with a bear. A good enough sized bear can get that done too. So I'll go bear.
You're going to go bear. All right. What the hell? I'll split the difference. I'll go lion. People are going to freak out. I'll go monkey. What was the elephant roaming the streets of Montana?
Or animal.
Was it, the monkey. Was it a monkey, an elephant, a lion, or bear? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for Seattle businesses looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Are you in need of an expert auto repair near you? Look no further than Complete Auto Repair Service in Ferndale, your local family-owned auto repair destination offering you a one-stop shop for all vehicle needs. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, we offer impeccable customer service so you'll always drive away satisfied. So if you have trouble remembering our name, remember CARS, Complete Auto Repair Service. Visit our location off of Main Street or call us at 360-922-0553.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories Animalize This on Profile This. We got an animal that escaped from a circus in Montana. She was seen walking through town. Eventually was corralled in and brought back to the owners there at the circus. Question is, what was the animal? Was it a monkey, an elephant, a lion, or a bear?
And a few people chimed in to say, Viola sounds like an ostrich. Not one of the options, but I guess if I had an ostrich, name a Viola. Someone else says Viola is more of a European name. Therefore, I'm going with the bear because of the Russian circus bears. Fair enough. Then someone else says elephant. So everyone put in their guesses, including the three of you gentlemen. But we start with you, Miles Montgomery. You went with the old monkey.
I did.
Not a monkey.
Not a monkey.
Mike?
Ah, damn it!
Well, I didn't even get there yet, man.
I know.
I didn't even get there.
I see the writing on the wall, man.
Okay, well, you, what the hell did you go? You went the bear.
Ah, that's right.
The old
You don't even remember what I did.
No, because I misread Miles and Mike on my little sheet that I wrote down.
Just that you just knows you're both wrong.
Mm-hmm. Wrong.
Wait for it, Smith.
Yeah, Ted, you seem awfully confident.
I am.
As well you should be.
Ah.
If nothing else, the age. If she started trying to leave in 2010, it's 14 years on. Like, just play the law of averages. A circus bear, bear's going to live for a while. Probably not going to hang on that long. The monkey, I feel like if it escaped 2 times before, it ain't coming back the 3rd time. But yeah, an elephant.
What about Bubbles, the chimp?
Bubbles the chimp. He didn't have. He was a scare.
And they corralled it.
They did corral.
When you say corral, it's like, all right, it's got to be an animal with 4 feet, 4 legs.
True. And actually, the story's worse than that, but I cut out a bunch of those details. It's a pretty horrible thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it?
Well, it's not that. Like, she survived, but the point is, look, circus elephants are absolutely mistreated. I don't think that that's news, but they say this particular one clearly has been, and that's why part of the reason she keeps leaving, but the tools that they use to corral her are pretty gut-wrenching. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and leave that part out.
Now, for all TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right. Choices today got Seth Meyers.
Okay.
The Jimmies.
Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Stephen Colbert.
Okay.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title always guys have teams of talents and writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
It's fine. It's fine. There is a new trend in air travel among young men where for some reason they forgo in-flight entertainment, including movies, as well as avoiding necessities like food, water, sleep, any comforts on a long-haul flight. Okay, if the person next to you is on a flight from New York City to Singapore and spends 19 hours just staring at the back of the seat back in front of them, their carry-on is full of human feet.
Colbert.
Yeah, I'll say Colbert.
Colbert.
There's a hot new trend in air travel among young men where, for some reason, they forego in-flight entertainment, including movies, as well as avoiding necessities such as food, water, and sleep, or any comforts on a long-haul flight. Okay, if the person next to you on a flight from New York to Singapore spends 19 hours just staring at the seat back in front of them, their carry-on is full of human feet.
A man broke a world record by unicycling across Ireland in 5 days. 5 days on a unicycle. When asked how he felt, the guy said, "Not great."
Fallon.
Seth?
It's Fallon.
I heard about a man who broke a world record by unicycling the length of Ireland in 5 days. 5 days on a unicycle. Asked how he felt. The guy said, "Not great."
Former 6-time Formula One race winner Ralph Schumacher made headlines over the weekend when he announced on Instagram that he was in a relationship with another man, which makes a lot of sense because he made his money sitting in a cockpit.
Beat Ted Smith.
Yes.
I almost got it out. Also, I've been fired up about that one for like 3 hours.
That's a good one.
4 hours.
I thought that's what you were laughing. I was like, oh, he's got a good one in the pipe. He's ready.
Sometimes they write themselves, Mike.
That's right.
A man in Florida was arrested after falling asleep behind the wheel at a Taco Bell drive-thru while his car was running. He's being charged with 1 count of mistiming an edible.
Fallon.
Seth Meyer.
A Florida man was arrested recently after he allegedly fell asleep behind the wheel with his car running in a Taco Bell drive-thru. He's being charged with 1 count of mistiming an edible.
Everybody in here watch Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, when I was a kid, man.
Well, I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Why
makes
am I
sense.
saying it as a kid? I watched the most recent episodes. Yes, as a child.
Mike, did you ever watch any of Gilligan's Island?
Really?
It wasn't on
You never
syndication.
sat right back to hear the tale, the fateful trip?
I think we're the last generation that got that in reruns.
Probably.
No, because I watched it in reruns.
Okay.
I mean, I
Ted,
knew.
last
one more.
generation.
Yep.
We are not the same generation.
No, I'm saying. Mike.
Right. So mine was probably the last generation.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
I had heard of it. I had heard of it by title. I couldn't tell you anybody who was in it. I couldn't tell you that if you showed me a frame of the show, I could not tell you that it was Gilligan's Island.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
I don't remember any of the plots. I don't remember any of the individual shows. I just remembered it was on.
You probably remember the song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sit right back and
absolutely.
listen to
That's probably the one thing that I remember the
trip
most.
that started from this traffic boat aboard this tiny ship.
But was it Gilligan from West Virginia?
He either was from there or he ended up retiring there. I know he bought a bunch of property and just decided to get away and kind of.
Was it Bob Denver?
Yeah, Bob Denver.
This is all after he got off the island?
Well, it's unusual because he
would not have gone to West Virginia.
In his life, he was, his acting career, he's on an island, right? And basically, he moved to his own, own private island.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Finally got off the island. I'm going to go buy property in West Virginia.
So, Mike, for people like you that didn't watch it, right? They're supposed to go out for this 3-hour cruise. They get stuck on this island. Okay. Now, they're always kind of close to figuring something out, but they don't. Now, or they get stuck there. So Mr. and Mrs. Howe, they were the super rich people, right?
Lovey. He called his wife Lovey. Every episode, that's all he called her.
Right. So, like, Gilligan, the skipper, they basically wore the same thing because they were on an island.
Right.
I think even the professor kind of wore the same thing.
Did. Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to the professor from Oregon and one mixtape. Guy's a legend. So, they're the millionaire and his wife. Well, it seemed like they had an endless supply of clothes. Mm-hmm. Never really thought about this. And they were like, well, it's just a 3-hour tour. The show's creator, he explained basically that's how rich they were. They had the best of everything, no matter the circumstances. So basically, he's like, look, they're supposed to be so rich that, like, of course, for a 3-hour tour, they would have brought a full wardrobe and this and that.
I like that they have to explain that. And it's like, let me tell you some other things that happened on the show. They made a radio out of coconuts. The Harlem Globetrotters showed up there once.
To play the Washington Generals.
Right, and they're like, but they're wearing different clothes.
In front of a sold-out arena.
I'm not making this up, Mike.
What?
Somehow, I don't remember the episode.
They showed up. Did they leave and just leave them all behind?
Yes.
They got off the island. The other ones didn't.
Why? Like, what?
Wow.
It was immigration. They're black.
Because they cheered for the generals. Oh. See, I was going to go the other way. The Globetrotters like, nah, you guys can stay here on the island. We're going home. The Howes were supposed to originally.
Did they not send help?
Nope. No. That's what I'm saying. But they're worried about.
They were on tour.
Okay, you can still say, hey, there's a whole island of people over there that can use a hand.
Nope, didn't come up.
I mean, Mike, when you're saying it out loud, right?
It is kind of bad.
I mean, it just seems.
Also, Mike, I'm never really sure they had an episode where they got off. Yeah.
Ted.
Yeah. I never think
The
director's
question of the
cut.
day's over, Ted.
They did a TV special later, okay? So maybe been off there 5-10 years. I don't know. I'm still a kid, and this is a new production that they did of Gilligan's Island. They get off the island, okay? I don't remember the entirety of it, but I want to say they get back to Honolulu, which is where the tour started from. People are happy to see them. If I remember correctly, and there's no guarantees here, but I believe they all got back together, just kind of, hey, we spent the sun, got back on the boat, and they got blown back out to sea and ended up at the same
Again,
island.
this is like The Sopranos coming back right now. I'm going like, okay, there's really one more episode after the Journey episode. We're gonna try to tie everything together.
Yeah, but Thrill's right. I remember that. That was like the whole thing. But then they boarded another stupid 3-hour cruise and got stuck again. But at that point, it's like, just leave them out there. You know what I mean? They were the only characters that's supposed to have change of clothes, but Ginger and Marianne ended up having different outfits, too. Mike, that's also a thing. I mean, it just... People would argue Ginger or Marianne all the time.
corn-fed, cute girl next door.
They had one Hollywood starlet, and they had, the corn-fed girl next door. So one had pigtails, one was all done up all the time.
And the other one, right, is wearing like these sequin dresses and everything. All right. I'm thinking back. Like, no one could shave, but somehow no one grew facial hair. But I got to think, Mary.
And I mean, I get it. There's going to be plot holes in any show, and there's just
this one was nothing but.
There's just going to be some dumb storylines that we're going to follow. They just wanted to tell island stories.
Here's the thing, because they always showed the boat at the beginning of the credits. For the going in the boat had like these 3 fairly significant holes in it, and it had been washed ashore. And people are like, wait a minute. The professor has made a radio out of coconuts, but you can't patch a hole. Right. Just saying, something wrong here, man.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong. Also, this will be a little darker, but, between that, Castaway, there's always been stuff about people stuck on these islands.
Lost.
Right, and they get rescued. It's like, I wonder how many people have died on these islands.
Probably a lot.
Right? There's a lot more deserted islands all over the, Caribbean,
South
Pacific, Indian Ocean that I think people realize. And it's like, yeah, if you really got stuck on one of those islands, like if there's no natives there, like I don't see how you're getting off.
That's one of the main things with Amelia Earhart. They were combing all these different islands and seeing if they could see anything that resembled somebody living there.
But the thing, when they think they found, I'm pretty sure, they found a woman's shoe that was like size 11. She happened to wear a size 11. Most women ain't rocking a size 11.
That's a big foot for a woman.
It is a huge foot for a woman, especially back then.
So how big?
She had a massive labia. But basically, they found the shoe, but so the working theory, at least the last I heard, is like she crashed, wherever she crashed, but survived the crash and ended up basically spending the rest of her days with whoever this group of natives were on this island.
All right, so that's also, I'm a history nerd. Mm-hmm. That's also part of the thing with Jamestown. The original settlement.
Right.
Is that by the time those other English ships, they always thought that the natives just killed them or whatever, but they never found bodies and this and that.
Right.
But some people have the theory now that they just kind of assimilate it with the tribes, right? Because at that point, white people haven't shown up and, people aren't getting murdered and stuff.
Right. So it wasn't about a takeover yet. It was still about exploration.
Right. So they're like, all right. So they're like, we figured there's a theory that they just kind of after a while were like, well, if they're not coming back from us, these people are cool. Sure, a couple of them intermingled. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, dog.
Yeah, Captain Cook went everywhere, and he never really talks about the fact that he was attacked in all these different places.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Emmy nominations came out.
All right.
I was saying in the office, I was pulled out the highlighter, Mike. I was telling Thrills to highlight all the shows I watched that got Emmy nods.
How much white is there and no highlighter?
There's not one highlighted.
Not one.
Well, I used to watch Curb, but I haven't really watched that in a while.
Right.
So, that was the only one, but drama series.
Maybe we should do it not just do you watch it, have you seen it?
Have you heard of it?
All right, so drama series. You have The Crown.
Okay.
I know the name.
On Netflix. Fallout on Prime Video.
Okay. That's based off the video game.
I did watch Fallout. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. The Gilded Age.
Nope.
The Morning Show.
I've watched season 1 and 2 of that.
I've wanted to watch that. I hear it's really good.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Nope.
Is that basically a remake of the
movie?
Brad and Angelina? Yeah,
I would think so.
Okay.
Shogun.
I got 2 episodes deep. It was pretty good, and then I just forgot about it.
I gotta watch it
because I got sidetracked. It's a show that I want to go back to. It was actually pretty good.
It looks cool. I've never sat down and committed to watching it.
I know when there's a new episode on, so my Twitter blows up.
Yeah, my Hulu always puts it right at the front, like, do you want to watch Shogun? Like, yes, not now.
Slow Horses?
I've never even heard.
Yeah. Well, maybe people should stop feeding them all.
Hey, Wilbur! I get
Three Body Problem.
I did watch that one.
3 Body Problem. Is that the guy has too many girlfriends?
Sadly, no. It's a sci-fi thing, but I read the book, and I was shocked at how well they did it recreate. I can't hear you.
Some of the comedy series that got nominated. See if you guys have watched this one. Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. The Bear.
Yes.
My wife watches that religiously.
Comedy. Why do they keep putting it in comedy?
Is it a dark comedy?
Yeah. No, it's not even a comedy. It's not funny.
Yeah, my wife watches it religiously. She already finished her latest
Either
season.
Shakespeare, dude.
It's fair.
And she loves the show, but never mentions that it's funny, and I never hear her laugh.
Well, and I think they did in this latest season put a couple things in there because you remember when Jordan Peele's movies kept getting put into comedy, and he's like, guys, these are horror movies. These are my take.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
Kind of the same situation, I think. So I feel like they added a couple things in there, like, okay, we're going to start putting just some stupid, ridiculously funny sequences in here, but we're not a comedy show. We're a drama.
I would also tell people the big dude with all the tattoos, Matty Matheson, he's an actual chef from Canada. He had a show on Vice for a while where he would just go around and like try different stuff or hunting. It was basically like Canadian version of No Reservations, except the guy's not really skinny. He's kind of fat, and he doesn't drink anymore.
All right.
Well, it isn't like some of the knife work that's done in that show actually him that's performing it, if I'm not mistaken.
I would assume so. I mean, he's a super accomplished chef.
Yeah.
He worked at some restaurant in Canada. If I knew, it's kind of like, what's the famous one? Like Milk and Honey or something? There's some restaurant with like that kind of name.
I kind of looked over the list, but I don't know if I looked, but is there one network show? Is there just
Abbott
one?
Elementary.
Oh, Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a network show.
Just go, please.
They're slow horses, Mike.
No.
Well, people got to stop feeding them all that beer.
Equals 3. He's a slow horse.
Let's try Outstanding Reality Competition Show.
Okay.
See what you guys have watched. The Amazing Race.
Nope. It's about black people.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Nope.
Top Chef.
Nope.
Yes.
The Traitors.
No.
Yes.
Traitors or traitors? Like with the
Traitors.
Oh,
Traitors to the
Is
like you've betrayed. You've
Yeah.
betrayed.
Oh, okay, that's what.
You're
Okay,
basically
no.
trying to find the traitor in the group. It's a game show.
Okay.
And then The Voice.
Of course.
I've seen episodes of The Voice.
I've seen the voice.
Sure, it's just lost its luster for me. They keep switching out the judges to try to jazz things up, or maybe they get bored or something like that. It's kind of like American Idol at this point.
Ugh.
You guys aren't producing anybody good.
That's the thing, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, just through that list that you gave, I have seen 5 of the shows. Miles, you've seen 1. Mike, you've seen 1.
All right.
I've seen Curb, just not this season. I've seen.
Correct. I used to watch Curb. I just fell off and never really got back in. I think I watched a random one on a plane, and I was like, "Damn, I forgot how funny this is." So there's a few of them in there. But again, like they don't nominate sports and old man shows that I watch. Like I'm not going to see air disasters on there, or Aerial America, or To Catch a Smuggler. I'm living an exciting life at night. Let's see. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's back? Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah.
Yay.
Big Brother premieres tonight as well. Obviously, you could watch any of the major networks if you want to watch some of the Republican National Convention from Milwaukee.
All right. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors: pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Hi, and welcome to IKEA. How can I help?
Oh, my schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
Maybe it's time to embrace the joy of staying in. With comfortable beds, pillow and decor, mood lighting, and so much more, you can turn your bedroom into the place to be.
Oh, sounds like a dream.
We've got you. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create your dream bedroom today.
Coastal Farm and Ranch. We're just what the country needs.
On July 24th through the 28th, it's buy two, get one free on Country Companion Feed. Buy three, get one free on Sunglow Show Feed. And buy three, get one free on large bags of Purina Feed.
Coastal Farm and Ranch. We're just what the country needs.
Get more feed for less this week at your local Coastal.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man chooses to avoid arrest by jumping off of a boat and swimming to shore. Meanwhile, Ecuadorian officials find bananas. Then when you eat one, yes, you'll want more. Sheep and Grease break into a greenhouse and eat all the medical weed. At Detroit Airport, authorities ask if 90 African snails, is that really what you need? And scientists cure type 1 diabetes in mice, which is great. If you're a mouse, it's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Top story, we go to Greece, where a flock of sheep have been acting a little oddly. The combination of wildfires, flooding, and heat waves in the area have devastated key grazing areas for animals, forcing them to get their munchies elsewhere, leading them to a local farm. But instead of finding a garden of delicious veggies and weeds to snack on, the sheep herd found a different kind of grass. A greenhouse filled with marijuana plants meant to be cultivated for medical purposes.
My kind of sheep.
In total, the herd ate upwards of 100 kilograms of weed in the greenhouse, which was also feeling the effects of the poor weather conditions. The shepherd that owns the flock says the sheep started acting strangely in the following days. What do you know?
Did he say they started jumping higher than goats?
Yes.
And that never happens?
Yes.
I was going to say, I mean, are we back? Oh,
actually, they started going, bruh.
Right?
Bruh.
You ever really thought about it, man? What are we doing?
Why are we counting ourselves to fall asleep?
It's just stupid,
Yeah,
man.
what do we count, bro?
Yeah.
Why do they keep taking our hair? It's weird and creepy, man.
What will you do? What will you do? Come on, Cashmere, man. I want to tell you something.
Oh, they'll sound like McConaughey.
All right.
Just laying on their backs out in the field.
I'm high as F, man.
That cloud looks like us.
I do kind of like the idea they're just that high. And they're just laying there like, this is great. It's great, dude.
Oh, dude, he didn't think we knew it was weed.
I keep getting more hungry, though.
What chops do they use, man? I haven't seen chops. Does that mean our cheeks, man?
That's terrifying, dude.
That's terrible. How do they get the bugs out of our wool when they cultivate it?
Man, do they grab your nipples and make milk and just drink it? These guys are sick, dude.
Steve makes great cheese.
But like I'm kind of eating myself, man.
In other news, we go to Florida for a strange interaction. Officers in local waters in Key West were on the lookout for a boat in their jurisdiction when they came across the subject of our story, operating a boat with several code violations. The man argued with officers for several minutes, getting increasingly frustrated to the point that his girlfriend felt the need to interfere with him to calm him down, and that the officers got suspicious that he might have a warrant out for his arrest. Turns out he did. For whatever reason, the girlfriend felt the need to grab his phone to call his boss, thinking that would help. I don't know why, but she grabbed his phone. But
I think to prove his identification.
And she was repeatedly asking him to open it up so that she could call him. In light of this, the man just jumped into the water and calmly swam all the way to shore where he was arrested. The video that was shared had several comments alluding to the fact that he desperately didn't want her to open his phone at all.
That dude's cheating.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Nothing to do with the cops.
I also, the article I read, it sounded like he wasn't even that deep in the water. He's just like wading around, and the cops are like, "I just get out of the goddamn water."
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tired of this crap. What if I just swim away? Well, then we're going to go after you, and we're going to pick you up then. Like, they even straight up told him, like, you are not free to leave, dude. You are under arrest at this point. Don't go anywhere. Stupid. Up to Michigan, where someone tried to sneak something through the airport. A passenger originating from Ghana was stopped by officials after agriculture specialists noticed an odd odor coming off of him. Mm-hmm. When he was pulled in for additional screening, he did declare some prohibited items in his baggage, mainly fresh food items such as beef skin and fresh peppers. But authorities got a little more concerned about the 90 giant African snails that were in his bags as well. Officers informed that they are an invasive species that can grow to large sizes and negatively impact our economy. The smuggler is now facing charges.
He brought them back here to eat them.
Did he really?
Yeah. That's exactly what the problem is if one gets out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then they just spread everywhere.
Again, I watch that show a lot, To Catch a Smuggler.
Yeah.
On Nat Geo, and like that's a lot of it. It's not just drugs, and like some people, they're just like just different cultures, and it's like, I want to eat these, and they're like, yeah, you can't bring that in, though.
Right? No.
And there's even just some random plants that I would never give two thoughts about, and they're just like, nope, not here.
Mexican bologna, nope. Seriously,
you're still torn up about that, aren't you?
I just don't get it. It's a log of meat.
Not that bologna. That's really good. Right here at home, someone was stopped while driving in the wrong lane. Washington State Patrol noticed a car driving down southbound I-5 going 80 miles an hour in the HOV lane. But upon approaching the car, they noticed that the passenger inside was actually a mannequin head, which was propped up on the seat and disguised with a jacket. The driver claimed that the head is merely a training aid, and the convenient positioning was merely to dry her hair.
Ah, yes, of course.
They were let go with a simple speeding ticket, not cited for driving in the HOV lane all by themselves. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully, there's good news.
A new study published in the journal Science Translational Medicine brings some inspiring news for those affected with diabetes. A new drug has been tested in mice, and the results of the test showed that adult human cells that were placed in the mice grew in number by about 7 times, and after just about 3 short months, started excreting insulin again. The drug is now going into phase 1 of human trials, while the other that they partner with, which is also found in Ozempic, it has yet to make the progression over into human trials. But if things continue to move forward, the scientists on the project say that it could be a functional diabetes cure in the future.
That's huge, man.
Gotta love that, dude.
It is kind of exciting to think about. What if there's a world where it's just like everybody's just attractive?
Attractive?
Yeah.
I mean,
like there's nobody's fat, nobody's this or that, and everybody, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You still find a way to hate someone for something.
You're probably right.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're good at that.
Just bring a couple people down a few notches.
That's right.
Those boobs aren't even real.
Level the playing field.
They're real, they're just not original.
In the world of sports.
She's so hot. Like, they don't belong on that body.
Just like your penis extension.
Yeah.
You got MLS on tonight. St. Louis is in town taking on the Sounders. That game starts at 7:30 over on Apple TV+. You've also got some Spring League basketball on ESPN and NBA Network. As far as your weather, we're in the midst of the July heat. Look forward to clear skies and a high of 84 tomorrow. Perfect drinking weather if you're looking for a nice, cold, and refreshing Men's Room IPA, which is spreading all about the Pacific Northwest. It has been found on tap in Bremerton at South Pacific Sports Bar, as well as the 884 Pub. Give them a little plug there. In Sultan, the Sultan Liquor Store has it on tap.
Thank you, Sultan.
And then down in Renton, Whistle Stop Ale House has it on tap as well. And you can find a comprehensive list of locations on the Men's Room page of KISW.com. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
We'll see you tomorrow for the head chef and Ted's Meat and Potatoes in the game known as Big Dummy Kevin Deers is up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for Seattle businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a Seattle business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic. With 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors: pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. Made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Looking for a great deal on a John Deere compact tractor? Don't miss this special offer. Right now, Pape Machinery is offering 0% financing for 84 months on select John Deere compact utility tractors. Pick up a premium John Deere machine and start transforming your property today. Stop by Pape Machinery Ag and Turf at 830 Evergreen Street in Linden to get started. Financing offer valid through July 31st. On approved credit only. Eligible models include 1 Series, 2 Series, and 3 E-Series tractors. See dealer for details.